What up, family? CTR Media Network. Yeah. Best in the biz. Yeah. Join the team. CTR is who we are, the media network, that's the best by far. Whether you listen at your home, at your job, in your car, come get the information that's needed above par. Never lasting, motivational podcasting, giving you the answers to the questions that you asking. Serious talks and topics, how to come up and profit, how to better yourself, your health is here, we got it. Reaching 350 million, they tuning in. We in 50 different countries, we all can. And like minded, find your purpose and your assignment. Come get your fix, your feel, your mental alignment. Get active and speak to the masses. Build your influence all levels and all classes. Now you know you can monetize and grow. CTR Media Network, start the show.
The Homeschooling Interactive Magazine is a magazine that embraces and celebrates the entire homeschooling experience. Our magazine is different from all the rest because we provide beneficial information and assistance in homeschooling, business, wellness, mental health, resources, and life. We encourage you to pick up a copy of our magazine today on Amazon.com by simply searching the Homeschooling Interactive Magazine. The Homeschooling Interactive Magazine is all about impacting the world through home-based learning, helping to de-stress the homeschooling experience. Get your copy from Amazon today. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Today, I am Dr. Tina J. Ramsey, the host for the CTR Media Network live stream. Yes, and yes. I am also the host of the Tina Ramsey Show, which is a 2-time award nominated show. And today we are going to be streaming various different podcasters from our network so that you can enjoy their featured guests, enjoy their information so that you can be inspired, motivated, and you can grow. I encourage you, if some of the information or all of the information resonates with you, reach out to that podcast show through CTR Media Network. Contact us feature at ctrmedianetwork.com. And so I want you guys to enjoy. And I thank you for everyone who watched our live stream dealing with the International Podcast Day, but we are keeping it going, keeping it moving, and we are super duper excited to be sharing with you all of this information. So what we're going to do, yes, we're going to take some commercial breaks. And once we come back from the commercials, then we will start our CTR Media Network live stream. And remember, you can like, follow, share, and subscribe. And you can comment so that we can give you shout outs throughout this live show. Yes, throughout this live show. We are currently streaming on all social media platforms from LinkedIn, Facebook. We are also on YouTube and Twitter, baby. We're all over right now so that you can be able to see and watch from whatever platform that you like, okay? And later on, you'll be able to listen to all of these amazing shows on all podcasting platforms and more. So make sure to stay tuned. And now we have to take a break from our sponsor. And if you would like to be a sponsor of CTR Media Network, just go to ctrmedianetwork.com and click the Contact Us feature with the note saying, I would like to learn more about being a sponsor. And we will give you that information. Please allow 24 to 72 hours in order to get that information back to you. But we are so thankful and so grateful for all of our previous and current sponsors. So make sure that you tune in, and thank you for watching the CTR Media Network live stream. I am Dr. Tina J. Ramsey, the host of the CTR Media Network live stream for today. And thank you for giving us some of your time. Have a great, amazing rest of your day. Bye. Our CTR Media Network sponsors. A special shout out to our platinum sponsors, Eleanor and Leroy Mason from happyandhealthy.global. Happyandhealthy.global is a health and nutrition business that educates and provides essential natural wellness products to build your health and wealth. To find out more of what they have to offer to you, go to happyandhealthy.global. Thank you to our CTR Media Network sponsors. To learn more about our sponsors and CTR Media Network, go to ctrmedianetwork.com. Our CTR Media Network sponsors. A special shout out to our corporate sponsor, Sheree Moore of SheTrucking.com. SheTrucking.com is committed to helping women and minorities establish and maintain successful careers in the transportation industry. So if you want to know how you can become the next trucker or join the transportation industry, contact SheTrucking.com and join their free Facebook community with over 30,000 women ready to help and support you on your journey. Check them out at SheTrucking.com. Thank you to our CTR Media Network sponsors. To learn more about our sponsors and CTR Media Network, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
Like Coach Tina Ramsey to say, come on, you got to get back up. What you doing? What you doing? How's it going? We got to keep pushing, keep working, keep working, keep working, keep pushing. And that was like some of the best advice that Nicole gave us today. She said, you got it. Don't stop. Know your why. I always ask why, what's your why? Because your why is going to fuel your feet. They're going to fuel your heart. They're going to fuel you. And you're going to keep going.
You asked that. And I didn't want to cry because, our why is our grandmother. So my grandmother was the why. She was the one that installed, all this community going out, feeding people, being in the church, all the different qualities that we had. And of course, my mom, she was a bus driver. So seeing how she was treated and trying to get her commercial driver's license, I was like, and then I came in, treated the same way. Many years later, I was like, this is going to stop. Like, I'm bringing my people in. Okay? I brought them in. And it wasn't nothing they can do because we teach one another. And that's what I love about what we're doing today, is because it's all about just teaching one another. If I teach you something, I know Dr. Tina likes for me to talk about like chat GPT and stuff like that. I mean, automation and stuff like that. But when we teach one another, that's the community. Is each one teach one, as the shirt saying. Community thing.
And I was gonna piggyback off her why, because honestly today I felt like crap. I did. I went Cinco de Mayo. and I was like, I don't want to do this today. And my son come running there, and he never asked for anything. I got the quietest child in America, thank Jesus. And he said, I want a suit. I said, you want a suit? It's strange to y'all, but my son don't ask me for nothing. And he don't care about his parents sometimes. He don't care how you dress. He don't care how you look. And my husband, I'm getting ready to walk out, and I'm like, my printer messed up. I couldn't print my workbooks and my curriculum box. Everything would just seem like it was going downhill. Is this your sign of telling me I don't need to go? No, So my husband's like, hey, Jay want a suit. I said, I know, I heard about it. I'm just kind of confused why he want a suit. All of a sudden, he want to change. And so I get down the road in Atlanta, and I'm thinking, I'm listening to content, because I'm working on being being consistent with my content and doing all this marketing and everything else. And in the mid of me pushing the gas pedal to turn back around, because I thought I left my wallet. My wallet fell out, and all I heard was, your why is because your son need that suit. It sounds crazy to y'all, but I really wanted to turn back around and go home and say, I don't want to do this today. In entrepreneur life, you'll get up and say, I don't want to be a boss today. I don't want to do this today. But then your why hits you in your gut and say, push that dang gas pedal. I wanted to see another word. Push that gas pedal. Because your son needs that suit. And the next day, your child will need something else. But your community gonna need you. So that's why I'm up here today.
Okay, you guys. So as you can see, these are different experts from various different industries, and also they are all podcasters. Even Papa Craig has her own podcast as well. We forgot to say that, but she do too. And then you met our lawyer. You met the ones that's going to help you with the legal papers for a fraction of the cost. You met community where you can help monetize your skills. We also had the ones to make sure while you up, because one thing that usually happens when you're an entrepreneur, you let your health fall by the wayside in the haste of trying to build. So then we have Happy and Healthy Global that's here. And so we put all these people here in this room so that you just won't listen, but you'll take action. Okay, this is your moment to no longer be alone. Okay, you don't have to be alone. There are people that really want to help you. And so what I want to do right now, if anyone have one more question, we're going to ask one more question, and then we're going to have Vera. She wrote a poem, and I'm not gonna cry.
Right.
I'm
We're
not
not gonna do it.
My makeup so
We
clean.
ain't trying to run.
No, I'm not gonna cry. I hope not. And she's gonna read a poem that really exemplifies the heartbeat of why we here. She actually wrote it herself. And so, anybody else have another question? And make sure to scan Dr. Liddy's code on the banner right there.
Yeah, I made a mistake. Sorry. But it's working now.
Scan the code so you can get your free 15 minutes. Okay, and then of course if you need legal paperwork, you can be able to. Wait,
T-shirt. Community.
yeah.
Everybody
Everybody download the app.
I did. I downloaded.
Okay, everybody make sure you
Everybody
download.
got their shirt.
Yeah, I didn't get my shirt.
Get your shirt.
I didn't get my shirt.
Okay, so do anybody have one more question? Do you have one more question? Okay, two more. Okay,
All right.
two more.
Come on.
Pass the mic.
Well, my question is because I am not techy. I'm not computer. I don't. You ask me about. In fact, I need to do better about trying to find things out on Facebook and doing. But I want to ask someone who don't know how to or know where to start. If I want to get into that area of being able to launch my business more online, other than talking to people. So I want someone to tell me I'm brand new. Here I am, and I want to get into the arena. Where do I start? That's my question.
So you said you want to get on, you want your products online? Like, do you know what platform you want to be on?
No,
Like,
baby, I just got a website.
Start.
I'm in the dark. I see all the things that you guys are doing.
You have to show up for yourself. You have to stand up just like you are now, speaking to your community. You cannot just put a business on a website and think people are going to automatically know to come. If you do not tell people about your business, they don't come. So for my advice for you, because we talked already, is that you got to keep showing up, keep speaking, go live on social media. It's free. It's free to go live. Everybody should be going live right now. I don't even know what y'all doing on your phone.
Right.
This is content, right?
I be live all day.
And everybody got a consultation. So this is good free content. Right? Well, good, at this moment, because I consultate this way more
Right.
than what you pay for a ticket today. Right? So show up, go live. That's my advice for everybody who want. I didn't just what I did was show up every day, go live. Okay, I tell everybody go live for 30 days. 30 days straight. And then see how your brand changed instantly.
So
Instantly.
when
Your
you
whole
go
life changed.
live, what did you go on? Instagram, Facebook, everything?
Facebook. That's how I grew 30,000 on Facebook. If I was going live on YouTube, I would have grew on YouTube. It just depends on what platform you feel more comfortable with. And go live. And just guess what? I didn't have no big speech. I don't even like speech. Right? So I didn't have idea. I said, God, give it to me. I pressed live and I started talking. People talk back. So that's my advice to you.
For your
Go
speech,
live and speak for yourself.
I would advise
to
you
your
to go
community.
live on Facebook first. Because that's more, don't take it the wrong way. Social media is kind of age friendly. So younger people are on Instagram, but older people are on Facebook. So I would advise that you get on Facebook first, kind of maneuver with that, figure that out, and then go forward. But start with that first, because that's more your audience.
I want to share that I want you to get out of your head and stop overthinking it and waiting for confirmation and validation. You, right here,
Yes, ma'am.
you're in your head. It's not going to be perfect. You're going to stutter. You're going to have to find out your sticky notes. That's okay. But the more you do it, the consistency, it's going to be like, boop. You're not going to think about it anymore. So instead of trying to do it the right way, just do it like Nike and everything's going to connect and you have the community. But we could give you the keys to the kingdom, the whole blueprint. But if you don't do it because you're in your head, you're gonna the days are gonna go and you're still gonna be sitting there like, dang, I wish I would have. So tonight when you get home, because you have all this energy and synergy, go live. I like that.
That's what I was gonna say. Do it while you hype. While you in that
Matter of fact, you can go in one of them content rooms that's already decorated. You got the ring light. There's no excuses. So when we wrap up, sis, you gonna go live.
I mean, for real, because if you think about it, they called you up here, and you told us about all these products and what they do. So you saying you can't put that out to the world? You just came up here and did it. Somebody in here recorded it.
I just
Somebody can put it out there.
And remember, being an entrepreneur, that means you're a boss, right?
I
That
mean,
means no one gonna tell you to get up and make some money in your business.
That's right.
If you don't get up and make no money, that's your fault. Because you're the boss. If you want to go work for somebody else, then they'll tell you at 8 to 5, I just got a job, y'all. So it's like, so I ain't had a job a long time. I've been an entrepreneur for a very long time. But mine, is he my boss? I don't know. So I figure it out. It's hard.
Man.
But at 3 to 11, that's my shift, right? But as an entrepreneur, no one tells me to do anything. You got to do it. And it's common sense. Let's just use common sense, right? Everybody know that you got to show up for your business. You got to put your business in newspapers, magazines, the CTR. Look, they got magazines, right? Half of y'all not in there. I know because I do. I lay it out. Some of y'all not even in there. Why? How you going to get your business in front of the CTR Media Network audience, right? Y'all are in there, I know. But I'm just saying, you got radio, you got so many platforms. TV. I've been on National Geographic, CNN. I've been on Mama Help Me. I've been on over 100 platforms. CNN twice. For Start Small, Think Big, the TV show.
Volvo.
I'm in a Volvo commercial right now. It's on the news. On TV. I've done so much I can't remember. So be that way. Keep doing so much that you forget, right? You Google, just Google she tracking. You'll see. And when I Google you, I want to see what you've done. I want to see your track record, your history, your digital imprint. Yes.
I like that.
Thank you.
Very brief, I want to add something to that too. While you're going live, find your tribe. Find your tribe. I always say this too because I had to remarket myself, or have that conversation this season. But I may not have the thousands and thousands of followers, but the persons that do have that follow me, they have influence and impact. So if I'm looking for entertainment, right, and I'm going to follow a Sherry Shepherd or Jennifer Hudson or what have you, or if I don't know the person, I'm going to know someone close by them, right? Now the other day I was even inboxing or messaging or talking with James DeBose, who's over at Fox Soul, right? So now I have those relationships. Now I can open that door for me, and now I can say, okay, you know who I am now. You've been on my show. You've seen who I am. Now this is who I am. Now what can we do together? So find your tribe as well.
And one thing that I want to add too, I love the way LaShawna said, get out of your own way. Because a lot of us get in our own way.
Don't we?
Whew, that part. Okay. So taking that first step. Get out of your own way. Take the first step. She just told you, go live, go in one of these rooms. The other day, the Holy Spirit just hit me, right, and said, you got to put this message out about mothers and daughters, or finding the people that's around you, the people that God wants to be around you. I promise you, I went on there, and I had just got out the steam room, y'all, so I'm looking dried up. I ain't looking like this right now. Okay. I was looking dried up, just hit steam room. I said, oh, this is my after workout steam room break. message. So let's get it out there. And I went live and I was like, you know what? Find your tribe. Know who you're supposed to be around. Understand that you need your cup filled back up just as you fill up somebody else's cup. Because so many of us are so many giving out, pouring, but our cup is not being replenished. One, we got to go back to the source. Number two, we got to start getting around those people who's going to help fill your cup back up. It looks like every last one of these people that's in the room this today, they're going to help you fill your cup back up. So you connect with every last one of these people up here if you got to make sure you get your cup refilled. That's number two. Also, just go out there. When I look back, and I told you I only did it in 5 seconds, where I just did this quick little reel. And then I looked the other day and it hit 1,000. Did you hear me? That wasn't something that I planned to do. It wasn't my podcast. It wasn't this. The spirit just hit me and said, say this. And I'm like, okay. And I looked dried up. So I'm out there dried up. If you see me, it was me with these big old glasses on. That was me. You know, but just when you go back and you like, that podcast, that little thing right there just hit 1,000. So that means that somebody somewhere needed to hear that message.
But if you don't have no followers,
Did you hear me say I didn't have followers like that?
Okay. I get
Right. You get what I'm saying?
Wait a minute. We all started with no followers.
Right. It was zero. So everybody. That's why I said get out. So it goes back to what LaShawna said. She said, get out of your head. You in your head right now.
Let me just say this. King is 4, and he shows up. He's on the pod. He has a podcast.
And he went
He's on live. And guess what? He wants to speak to y'all today.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, I'm gonna look for y'all to go live. I'm gonna look for y'all to show up for yourself. And if you don't, I'm unfriend you. Now, I'm serious, y'all. Y'all have to get serious with yourself. I was real serious about my business. I tattooed it on my arm. Like, I'm really serious when I talk about shit trucking. I won. I can't even say I'm gonna win because I've already won. When I went to the White House to talk to the president about the transportation industry, I felt like I won. So if I didn't speak on my social media, how am I gonna speak to the president? Right? Who we speaking to? We're speaking to people. And it don't matter if one person show up or no people show up. Do it anyway, because like she said, later you'll get the views. The views don't come in one day. It come over accumulated time frame. Okay? I have million hit views in the millions, 100,000, 200,000. That didn't come in one day. That came over time. So give yourself gratitude and say, you know what? I've came so far in my life, period, that I will on today. Start today and pop up in parade, okay? In the front, while you have all your products there. You have your husband can hold the camera. I don't have a husband. But my boyfriend, he did. So, and the last thing I would say is stop by the registration booth, vendor booth up there, and get y'all a planner. Because what it sounds like to me is y'all not planning. Okay, so you need to get you a planner and plan out your day, plan out your week, and be purposeful with what you're doing. Are you doing this on purpose? Like, I'm here on purpose. This was on our calendar. We could be anywhere else, but we're here on purpose. Right. So be purpose. Make sure you get a plan. I want her to be sold out.
Sold out. Can I say one thing? I want to thank you for being vulnerable because I know it might seem like you're in the hot seat, but this conversation is helping everybody. So thank you for that. And then I want you to imagine, did you guys know that we're in the gym right now? We're all in the gym exercising. So when the opportunity knocks, you don't have to go and get ready. You already ready. Right. So with you starting, when you get that opportunity, whoever hits you up, hey, I need you to do this, you're not going to be nervous because you're already in practice speaking. All right. So when we wrap up, are you going in one of those rooms? Yeah, let's give her a round of applause, y'all.
So I want to know how you monetize it and how you have monetized it.
For me, I started monetizing my
For me, I went through CTR Media Network. That's where you got to start. But she can tell you her experience. But for me, like, I wasn't about pushing for the money. She's like, what are you doing? You could be making money. I'm like, oh, no. What are you doing? You could be making money. I said, okay, tell me what to do. So, Yeah, so for me it was linking with her and then her telling me, okay, this is what you gotta do X, Y, Z.
Dr. Tina, talk about what we talked about earlier about censorship and how it's blocking us and we're not able to. Yeah, you know.
Go ahead and say it, Slick.
No, you good.
Okay, so basically, it's very, it can be difficult once you start getting your reach and your visibility out. Okay, so all of us minorities up in here, so I guess I won't step on nobody's toes. Um, but even if it wasn't, it's the truth is the truth at the end of the day. And so what happened to me, I didn't even know there was such thing called YouTube jail. Okay, and so the the up is when you're doing podcasting and you have your own media company, you start getting more visible, start helping entrepreneurs, and people start seeing that what you're doing is working and they come along. The flip side of it, when you're on other people platforms like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, they don't really want to see none of us getting reach and monetizing and teaching other people how to do things. And so they gave me some game on how to do different stuff. And now I'm gonna tell you, you need to always have a plan B on these platforms. Okay, so if you have one YouTube channel, have one in the back, because when they shut you down on one, you will always have the plan B. Okay, I didn't do that. So they put me in Facebook jail. Imagine this. They did not hit the Tina Ramsey show. You know what they hit? You know what I'm all about? Community, right? They hit CTR Media Network. Okay? And the thing about it is the video that, because I let my podcast stream on our platforms, okay, our social media. The thing is, what was so ironic is that it was one particular podcaster, she's Caucasian on our network, and she streamed, this is her show, not my show. She streamed the show on CTR Media Network, which is perfectly okay. They didn't flag her. They flagged me. So I went and appealed and I said, wait, this is the exact same video. I'm not in the video. The video is up on her YouTube channel. It's fine. Why is you flagging CTR Media Network for this video when it's the exact same content, nothing changed, identical? They told me that I was going against community standards. Well, it's this community. Okay, so that's kind of like the downside of us growing and doing something positive, because they see you and they want to censor you. They want to stop you. And so that's why it's so important that you connect with other media houses. That's why I connect with Misfits Radio. That's why I connect with other radio. We have Ray in the building. That's why we need each other. Because when they stop one, they can't get us all at one time.
That's right.
So we got to always stay a step ahead in order to make this positive impact that we know to change our generation, the next generation. So our children's children will not have to deal with this mess.
Right.
Okay. And also create your own table. Right. I like that. Okay, you be on the other people's platforms and monetize, but you also create your own independent stuff so that you can also do it. And if you don't, then you join community like CTR Media Network and businesses like Holly Create and Sheep Trucking and all that, so that they can put you in the right position, okay? And make sure you have legal help, because it can be a little sticky because they come. And so for me, I monetize basically through guest slots, sponsorships, commercial slots, hosting. And also being a brand ambassador. One thing that really helps me, if I see a person business that I really can I have to see their vision. And if I can see their vision like with community, everything that came out of everybody's mouth was about community, right? And so once I see that, I would love to be there walking billboard. Like I'm gonna be wearing his shirts like I wear CCR Media Network. I'm gonna be telling people to download the app. And collabing. So brand ambassador, it opened up so many different opportunities just with podcasting. There's so many different ways, probably about 24 ways on the basic to monetize. But those are some ways that you can actually monetize. But everybody has the book. I have it in the book. I didn't leave anything out. I'm very transparent, okay? Because I believe it's room for all of us, okay? And I can't do it all. That's why I need all of you to step up and do your thing, okay? And don't get afraid about the no's. That's okay. I got so many no's, and now this is the season of yes, baby. God, like this is your season. Because you know how many people turn me down? But it led me to this moment right now. So do not get discouraged when people tell you no. And keep on asking. You will not receive if you don't ask. Say it again, sis. You will not receive if you don't ask. And the right person will say yes. She said yes. She said yes. She said he said yes. All of these people said, all of you said yes by just purchasing a ticket. It will happen. Don't get discouraged, okay? So that's for me. And pretty much all of us kind of monetize the same way in different ways. Except Sheree now, she monetized her.
I monetize.
Yeah, CNN and National Geographic. She monetized.
Well, just this week I just got a brand deal. You can get brand deals when you put out quality content.
Exactly.
Right? And it all depends. You get, of course, you need your podcast, but it also matters on what you're doing everywhere across the whole internet. So don't be one way on Facebook, another way on Instagram, because they gonna watch all that. You know. But one disclaimer: do not have a bunch of social media. You have to make sure that your social media talk to each other. So for me, I have one sheet trucking Facebook, I have one sheet trucking group, I have one Instagram, I have one, I have one on each platform, so they all can talk to one another. Once they talk, the algorithms are all work together. That's what you want. You monetize by having watch hours, the amount of watch hours that you have, along with how many followers you have. Once you get all that all together, make sure you brand it well too. Make sure you look good. Everybody know I don't have it on today, but kinda teal and pink is my color. Okay, all day I'm teal and pink normally, but I'm here for CTR, so you know all black. But but I'm always, if you look at my show, it's always teal and pink. If it's not my show. Call me like that's right. Okay, they impersonate me. But you want to make sure that you well branded, as well, and then you can land those big brand deals. I'm so thankful to God for this brand deal. I'm getting ready to drive these electric and autonomous trucks. It's a one day for $6,000.
Oh yeah.
You get those type of deals, and yeah, that's somebody. I can go on for days talking about how to get some money out.
I want to add some other creative ways. You have a framework in your book.
When you say framework.
So when I say framework, like in your book, you're probably teaching the women how to get to a specific result through ABC, right? So you want to repurpose your framework. It should be in a digital guideline. It should be a webinar. It should be a masterclass. It should be leading us to a lead magnet. Like your book, it should be something where we scan or we put our info in, because even if you give it to us for free, you want to be able to cultivate us so we can become, we engage, we trying to get married. You know what I'm saying? So be creative on repurposing your content. It's not, podcast is cool, but there's so many other ways as well. Live events, virtual events, the whole nine. You can have a table talk that is based off of your book with a group of women, and like there's so many ways. So I think that the first thing is to start and have your systems and automation set up so you can maintain and cultivate the relationships for who you're serving.
So I would like to add something too, because again, I started with podcasting coming to Coach Tina Ramsey, and I was like, hey, I want to create a generational wealth summit, and she was like, okay, well let me see what you're gonna do. She had a price, but she was working with me, and she said, do this. So I'm gonna say this: if you need a coach and that's not your place, get a coach. Every mentor has a mentor. Every mentor has a mentor. Believe that. Okay. In order to lead, you have to know how to follow. So those are like some great snippets. All this great advice. Do that. You get what I'm saying? If you start off with that and you don't know, get a coach, because Coach Tina Ramsey, that book is for real. What she do is serious. When I say she be out here, I used to catch Coach Tina Ramsey on Facebook at 3 a.m.
What you mean? Still do.
Do you hear me? Yeah. I'm sitting up here like, now Peter, I told you to go to bed. She said, oh, my off day is on Wednesday. Wednesday, I don't do no work, honey. I'm like, Wednesday, you still on Facebook. I said, Poe Curtis. But for real, So I remember hearing somebody one time and they talked about it. They said when you want something bad enough, you got to be willing to almost sink and drown for it.
Right.
You got to keep your hand up and you got to keep reaching. Do that.
Do what you gotta do. So
Do what you got to do. He told you earlier, he said, stay on topic. Know your niche. Because the more that you know your niche, people will know who to come to you, what to come to you for. And people, you think people ain't watching. They watching. They watching, okay? She said it earlier. She said, make sure you know your character. My character is everything. Coach Tina Ramsey, we didn't have this whole conversation. I said, hold up, I get a whole attitude. Wait a minute, go back to Detroit. Please believe it. I don't play about my character. Y'all might call me crazy. You can talk about me if you want to. I don't care. When it comes to my character, baby. Because what I have to do is I have to make sure that I'm the leader that I want to see. And that should be all of us, as being parents, as being mothers, as being aunties, as being influencers, all of that. So you want to make sure that you keep your personality and your character in alignment. And their personality.
Yeah, I do go out sometimes.
I mean, we all do. We all do.
I'm real though. I be telling the truth.
At least you know, because I always come out with a disclaimer. Because everybody at my school and everybody else, they say, oh, she's from the street. Yeah, she's from Detroit all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm nice. I'm nice, but don't get it twisted sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Forgive me. Forgive me. Right. Y'all see this big old glasses? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's me. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
I want to add something to that too. When you say that people are watching, you know they're watching. See, we had this conversation a few weeks ago about monetizing. I found another way to do that. I made my goal, by the way.
You know I put it on you.
Yeah.
I told you. Didn't I tell you? All right. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, I told
So
you.
you just never know who's watching because my thing is though, I don't want to be a memory but rememberable. That's my thing. So with the guests that I have, I keep in contact with them. We may exchange phone numbers. I have an email blast that I do. We may text or what have you. I want to be all up in your business, right? But in the sense of genuinely, like, how are you doing? You need anything. So those guests that I've had on my show come back to me and they see what I'm doing and they'll say, I need your assistance with marketing or I need your assistance with branding. I'm like, but you an Emmy award-winning, blah, 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 blah. You want me to help you? Okay, let's talk about it. And literally, I had a conversation with someone the other day. He's like, I'm trying to put money in your pocket. What can you do for me? I'm like, okay, let's have these conversations, right? Or just writing a press release to news stations or whatever I need to do to help somebody else promote their whatever they're doing. So never did it before, but it worked. I got them on the ABC affiliate station or in their hometown because they asked me for it. So just taking that chance on you, believing in what you can because you're doing it and people see it and you're doing it well, just taking that chance on.
Further than The Power of Podcasting by Dr. Tina J. Ramsey. This book is not just any ordinary guide. It's a game changer that offers insider strategies, captivating content creation tips, proven techniques, and monetization secrets. But that's not all. When you purchase The Power of Podcasting, you also receive a complimentary bonus. Dr. Ramsey's sought-after podcast 30-video course valued at $999. Absolutely free. It's no wonder this book is a #1 bestseller on Amazon and has been rated one of the top 10 best new podcasting books to read by Book Authority. Dr. Ramsey's expertise and practical advice have earned her acclaim in the industry. So, what are you waiting for? Take the leap and unlock your podcasting success today. Grab your copy of The Power of Podcasting, Unlocking Tips and Strategies for Podcast Success by Dr. Tina J. Ramsey on Amazon, or visit their website at ctrmedianetwork.com. A link will be provided in this episode's description. Your podcasting journey starts here.
Does this resonate with you? Has a company ripped you off in the past? SettleShark is changing how consumers get money back from companies. SettleShark assists consumers during the entire process, from beginning to end. Our process is simple, convenient, affordable, and powerful. You're in control. We are here to help you. Contact us today at www.settleshark.com or call 1-888-704-0708.
Hey man, your dog is super trained, but mine never listens to me.
That's because I just signed up for a dog training course in the community app. It notifies you of all classes happening within a 10-mile radius and has many options. They've got literally everything from dog training classes to dance classes.
No way. You mean I can get my dog trained and learn dancing?
Yeah. Install the app right now and see for yourself.
Alula Life Greens actually started for me when I was 23 years old. I went out and bought a $400 industrial juicer, and I started juicing every single week. And I hated it. It took so much time, it cost money, and it was a process. That's when I started making the Life Greens product. It truly is the one drink that you should take every day for the rest of your life.
My name is Amy, and I absolutely love fitness. I'm a licensed cosmetologist and a professional makeup artist. Eating healthy is not the easiest thing. We get so busy in our lives, it's really hard to take the time to eat healthy and to eat right. My absolute favorite thing about this product is that they combine reds, greens, and probiotics in one mix. You put it in your water and you shake it up and voila, it's so easy and it tastes amazing. You'll feel a difference. Then you start believing that you really can change and that you can actually feel better.
Listen, if anybody's interested in getting into podcasting, grab this book. Go on Amazon, grab this book. It goes with me almost everywhere. This book has like a workbook. It has places you can fill it in. It tells you how to monetize your podcast. It tells you how to set it up. It tells you about sponsorships. It even, listen, go on Amazon and get this book. And this is the Bible for podcasters. Listen, it was ranked #1 in podcasting books. Look right here. Best new podcasting book by Book Authority. Right there. Boom. And a little secret. Y'all, when you grab this book, I think it's page 43. There is a code on there. Listen, you can get access to her class, her course. Get her course. It's worth hundreds of dollars. But this book is it's less than $50. Grab this book on Amazon.
The Finkley Experience, an educational consulting firm that specializes in first-generation education and which prepares high school students for college. For more information, visit their website at thefinkleyexperience.com. Fathers to Father Incorporated, a nonprofit organization that strengthens families through father engagement with a goal to help men in our communities to be great dads. For more information, visit their website, fathertofatherinc.org. Ablaze Entertainment. The goal of Ablaze is to take emerging artists and develop them to the next level of their career. For more information, visit their website at ablazeentertainment.net. Thank you.
And you will see. Hey, what's good? It's Vashawn Mitchell, gospel recording artist, and you're watching The Michael Finkley Show. Keep it locked.
You will see the goodness of the Lord.
Hey, did you get your merch yet? Your Michael Finkley merch. Visit our website, michaelfinkleyshow.com, and click Finkley Store. You won't be disappointed. I'm telling you. That's good. On the next Michael Finkley, Executive Director of Pig 42 Foundation, Nico Pickett is with us. He sits down with us and talks about our activities for Juneteenth and gives us an exclusive tour of the Pig 42 Foundation facilities. Next Finkley.
There's a new familiar face this time. Say hello to the new daytime. See it everywhere you go, doing the greatest show. It's no other than the Michael Finkley Show. There is no other. He's like no other.
Think Film. My name is Miko, and I'm so excited to take you on a tour of Pick 42 Foundation. Come on in. People's House, we like to call it. And so I'm gonna go ahead and introduce you to, this is our staff, where the Pick 42 staff works. That's kind of like in the front half of our building. You see Virginia. Virginia is with the Food Policy Council, and coordinator for Juneteenth Mullins. And we have our farm ambassador sitting in the back, Miss Davon. And if you look around, we have various artwork that's all throughout the building. Our artwork was painted by high school students at Mullins High with assistance from their instructor. And we have all of this artwork. The big pieces are on loan from Mullins High School. And up above where you see the African drums, those are also on loan. So, you know, people bring artwork to us to display. And so the one thing we wanted to do is we wanted to have a space where whenever we invited the community, it was welcoming, right? We want you to get information. So let's come over here and look at our information desk. At any point, when folks come in to see us, we always ask them if they're registered to vote. There's a bus in Marion County now. So we have the bus schedule that's up here. So if you need to try to figure out how, and it's free. And we're working with PDRTA to get Pick 42 Foundation at the bus stop. So hopefully that happens. And then Think Fam, I'm gonna give a bunch of these. These are Juneteenth Mullins, June 17th coming up, flyers to Michael Finkley here. Let's come on back. So the next thing we're gonna take a look at is we have a studio. So our studio over here, whenever you see us online or live, this is where we do it from, our little makeshift studio here. Let's go ahead and take a look. This is the Pick 42 Foundation studio, right? You know, and we do, a matter of fact, just yesterday, Mr. Bill and Terry, they did a demonstration on food that we harvested from the garden. So this is our studio. This is our conference room table. And then this is our wall of heroes. So on our wall of heroes, we are so excited. Pardon me, we were vacuuming. So these are all of the wonderful organizations that donate $250 or more to us. And so they're on our wall of heroes. Also, we have our 2003 patrons, our 2023 patrons. They all donate a minimum of $10 or more a month to help us to keep the lights on. We always have our swag wall going on. So with the swag, if it's Pick 42 Foundation swag, that is, our t-shirts cost $20. If it's Black Voters Matter swag, here you go. Black Voters Matter swag is free as long as you send a text message to Black Voters Matter, and we'll help you do that. But now we have some t-shirts available. Sometimes we have t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, all kinds of fun stuff. But yeah, so this is our swag wall. And then over here, this is our internet cafe. So let's say if you need to pay a bill, or a child needs to come and do some homework, or you need to use the internet we have here for free at any point, you could come, we get you signed in, you get set up at our internet cafe, and you can use the internet for free. Then come on back. So we celebrated Kwanzaa together this year. And one of the things that we did for those that attended was we asked them to put on this banner how they would represent the concepts of Kwanzaa throughout the year, and to come back into our office to kind of remind. So right here, these two bikes, we have a garden that is located on the block in Mullins, and we will be auctioning these bikes off for free. These bikes were donated from Walmart Mullins, and they're going to be auctioned. And for folks that are, you know, that hang out at the block, right? We're taking a little bit of their space, so we just want to show that we're sharing the space with them. I'm going to give you a sneak peek into our food hub, right? So we got our commercial freezer in the back, and then this is where, when the food comes in, we would have it. Now this right now, it's a little bit in between because we don't have anything scheduled yet. You are all welcome. Anytime, whether you're local to this community or not, whenever you happen to be in Marion County, come give us a visit. come to 158 South Main Street in Mullins and just pop in. Between 9 and 5, there's somebody always here. All right, Think Fam, guess what? The Michael Finkley Show will be live at Juneteenth Mullins. So everybody is going to get to experience the Michael Finkley Show live. He will have an area that is set up. He's doing interviews from the park. It's going to be so much fun. And Michael, we're so excited and so happy to have you and the whole Think Fam. June 17th, Saturday, Smith Haven Park in Mullins.
Coming up, we have Miko with us. Back in a moment.
My name is Marcus Brandon. You might have seen me as Diedrich on Mayor of Kingstown, and I'm right here sitting with you on the Michael Finkley Show.
Hello, everybody. It's Finkley from the Finkley Experience. We're an educational consulting firm that specializes in first-generation education. So we assist students with their college and career endeavors. We train school administrators on the state of first-generation students. And also, we partner with colleges and universities to assist their first-generation population for easy transition from high school to college. So if you're looking for a presenter or speaker that presents on these topics and so much more, visit our website at thefinkleyexperience.com and learn about all that we do. We're looking forward to working with you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Y'all, I am super excited to be on location right here in my hometown of Mullins, South Carolina. And again, when I came back into the area, I wanted to be more involved and finding out that there are some amazing things happening here in my hometown. But I'm going to hush because the founder and the director is here of Pick 42 Foundation right here in Mullins, South Carolina. But I'm going to let her introduce herself to the Think Fam. How are you?
Yes, hello, Think Fam. One, thank you so much. I am so privileged to have you here in our studio, like you said, in Mullins.
Yes.
So I am the executive director of Pick 42 Foundation. We're a community-based organization located right here on Main Street in Mullins, but we serve the entire community of Marion County, as well as Florence and Dillon and Marlboro.
Yeah.
So we're excited about our expansion. And, Pick 42 Foundation itself was founded in Charlotte, North Carolina, and it was my husband's brainchild, Dominic Pickett. That's a whole nother story I'll tell you about.
I love it. But bringing these different resources to a rural area,
Yes.
I know that that's important for the residents here. So what are some of the things that you do to kind of get the community involved in your efforts?
Well, when we use the term community-based organization, we mean it, right? It's not I'm the executive director, my husband's the founder, but it's the community that owns it. This space right here that we're in, the community is responsible for us being here. If you were to come and visit us here in Mullins, you'll see we have a wall of heroes. Those are the sponsors that help us keep the lights on. And then we have our patrons. Our patrons give us $10 a month. $10 a month, $20 a month.
Yeah.
People come in here with whatever they can to help us keep the lights on so that we could do what we do for the community.
Yeah.
And some of the things that we do, and I'm gonna miss some things out. But
Hit the big ones.
The big ones. And we have 5 community gardens.
Wow.
And with those community gardens, the community comes out, they help us to create the gardens, we share the food. We have one that's an edible forest.
Wow.
Yeah, we're really excited about that one. So we have blueberries and blackberries and strawberries and peach trees and figs and grapevines, things like that over there. And we have our community garden program. And in our community garden program, we actually hire 4 student ambassadors that make $10 an hour to help us in the gardens and to learn about gardening and farming and things like that. We have our new Eat Local PD program, which is under the umbrella of work we've been doing with underserved farmers for going on 3 years now. And so with Eat Local PD, it's fresh local foods. And what we're doing there is we are buying food we have a federal grant down to the state, down to us. And then we're buying food from underserved farmers, and then we're giving it back to the community for free with education, right? We want the community to know where this food came from, who grew it, and also we're a lot of times our community is used to processed foods.
Mhm.
So when you see something that's not processed, you need a recipe for it.
Exactly. That's true.
You know?
That's definitely true.
Yeah, so we have a free store. We do a bi-monthly free store.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Walmart Mullins and Burlington. Let me tell you that every week we go, Burlington not every week, but with Walmart, every week we go and we pick up overstock and returns.
I love
And then the next free store is at Juneteenth Mullins, which I'm hoping you give me a chance to talk about.
Of
Juneteenth.
course.
Is at Juneteenth Mullins. That's on June 17th. Oh my goodness, there's so many programs. We have we have founded the Marion County Food Policy Council.
Mhm.
We have a new program which we call BAM. And BAM is Boomers Active Meetups. It's for our seniors, 60 and over. And we just recently received a donation. And with that donation, we're able to provide exercise classes, meetups. We're going to be doing, they like all kinds of stuff. I don't want to bingo, but follow us on Facebook. And the thing is some people may criticize us because we put so much on Facebook, but if you own something, you want to know what's going on.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
So we put it on our Facebook, our YouTube, and our Instagram page.
Yeah, getting the word out, right?
it.
Word of mouth, social media, marketing yourself. That's what it's all about because you're doing some amazing things here. So what has the response been from the community of Mullins and your efforts to assist them?
Yeah, so I'm going to speak in terms of volunteerism, right? And it's all of Marion County.
Yeah.
In our database, we have over 600 logged volunteers.
Wow.
So we gauge our response by people who come out to help, to lend a hand in any way. If it's picking up a hoe in a community garden, is it putting on a t-shirt and picking up trash at Juneteenth Mullins?
Yeah.
If it's our annual toy drive, we strive to serve 1,000 children for Christmas every year.
Amazing.
So, they have to pack toys, count toys. Like our volunteers come here into our office and just clean, hang up t-shirts. So the response has just been incredible. It really has. And we appreciate every single person, every single dollar, right?
Yep.
Because, it's expensive. And if it's not for, the people in our wall of heroes, the patrons, the people who just say they want to help out in any way, even a $5 donation, it matters. It all goes into the bucket and it matters. And we've created a food hub here. So now for our Eat Local PD, and we had to outfit all of that. I mean, it's really just been great. And my team, they're amazing. They're amazing. And some of them are on grants, and all of them work more hours than their grants cover.
Wow.
It's like, so we're open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And if you just want to know what's going on, you can just come on down. And there's always somebody here between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Oh, and you see those 2 bikes over there?
Yes.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do with those. We put one of our gardens, edible forest, is on the block. And the block in Mullins is historic, where Black businesses used to be able to operate and thrive. But that's not the case anymore.
Yeah.
So what we've done in partnership with the City of Mullins, all of the community gardens are located on City of Mullins property. City of Mullins pays for the water.
Amazing.
City of Mullins they are a platinum sponsor for Juneteenth Mullins. There's so much. We have so many partnerships, but City of Mullins really does warm our heart. So what we're doing to give back to some folks who hang out at the block is we're having a free bike raffle.
Amazing.
So we're going to give a bike to a male and a bike to a female, and we've been handing out tickets, and then we're going to all come back to the block, and we're going to announce who the winners are.
Amazing. Wow. It is fun. That is fun. Again, just all a part of giving back. What do you want participants to get from it? What do you want them to learn?
Hey, this is Nelson Estevez, aka Alonzo from Tyler Perry's The Oval, and you're now watching the Michael Finkley Show.
Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Father to Father.
The mission of Father to Father Charleston, South Carolina is to help fathers in the Low Country area of South Carolina to be a positive and consistent presence in their children's lives. Father to Father provides community-based programs and support groups for fathers free of charge. They also help fathers connect to other resources they need so they can meet their responsibilities and secure their parental rights. Father to Father offers job coaching and employment connections that benefit fathers. Father to Father is a resource for local organizations that want to provide family support and father-friendly services. If this program is a fit for you, visit our location in North Charleston, South Carolina, and meet our friendly staff here to help and assist. Or visit our website at fathertofatherinc.org. Another way that you give back within the community, that the communities that you serve, is your different events. And you're having something on June 17th, Juneteenth, everybody. So tell us about it.
Okay, so we started Juneteenth. This is our third annual Juneteenth. And our Juneteenth is the celebration of African American arts and culture.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we wanted to do is open for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
To learn about African American arts and culture in a fun way.
Mm-hmm.
We have a full stage lineup. Our MC is Sue Ham. Okay. Shout out. Our MC is Sue Ham. We've announced our headlining band.
Mm-hmm.
That's New Look.
New Look.
New Look. Yes. Carl Brunson, the famous one-man band, is going to have a 30-minute set on the stage this year. This year, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of hip hop. So we're not even ready to announce some of the things we're doing about that.
This is amazing.
It is. We'll have food in the park.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have all kinds of vendors. So far signed up, we have L&S signed up. Oh my goodness, food vendors. I'm sorry, I don't want to miss anybody, but we have platinum desserts. We have lemonade. There's so much that's going to be for people to eat and partake. We have crafts vendors.
Yeah.
And we're looking to, the planning team is working hard on getting some different kind of vendors to come as well to really promote African American arts and culture. And our primary sponsors right now, Black Voters Matter is our diamond sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
The City of Mullins is a platinum sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Odette Akers is also a platinum sponsor.
Amazing.
And let me tell you, she called us the other day and she said, Miko, I want to help. How can I help?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, we're having Juneteenth and, we're struggling a little bit with the money. And she says, I got you.
Oh, wow.
And so as an individual contributor, she is as a platinum sponsor. So thank you so much, Odette. It means a lot. But there's just so many ways. There's so many ways. And again, follow us on Facebook.
Yeah, definitely
and
follow them on
Instagram.
Facebook.
Yes.
Definitely.
We'll be announcing all of our vendors. We have jewelry vendors. It's funny, I just put some stuff up on the TV screen. I'm peeping at it. But yeah, we're excited.
Amazing. And like you said, it takes a village to make these type of things happen. We can't do this by ourselves, but it takes a whole community. Within this event that's happening on the June 17th, what do you want participants to get from it? What do you want them to learn?
Well, I want them to learn about African American culture, emphasizing on the African.
Yeah.
The way we start out the event, so you got to be there at 11 o'clock. And we play African drums. And you can hear these drums all over Mullins, right?
I love it.
And it's we're setting the stage for what is to come.
Exactly.
And in between every 15 minutes, we do door prizes. Every hour we'll have door prizes and what we call a Juneteenth moment, where it's just a minute where we talk about, something about the culture, something about our heritage, because we're a very proud folk.
Yeah.
And, and when you think about Juneteenth Mullins, and Juneteenth is a federal holiday, it's no different the way we celebrate than if you were to go to an Irish festival or an Italian festival,
Exactly.
right? Or a Greek festival. This is an African American festival.
Yeah.
And so we welcome everybody to come, partake, eat the food, shop at our vendors, listen to the music, and the stage is going to be lit all day.
Let's go.
Gospel, R&B, bands, you name it.
Let's go. Good time.
Yes,
Good
and we
time.
got some other things that we're just not ready yet to
Well,
release.
that means you have to be there
That
and
part.
go on their social media and find out, Think Fam. That's what you have to do. Definitely.
Yes.
But I appreciate you so much for what you do and your foundation, the employees behind it, your team, that what you do in the community, because it matters, because you're helping others. One more time, how can we follow you on social media and how can we attend this event? What are the times and where is it going to be located in Mullins?
Yes. So you can follow us at Pick42 Foundation on Instagram and on Facebook. You can, it's a little sore subject right now. There's an issue with our website. That's not our fault. But when our website is back up, it's pick42foundation.org. You can contact us directly here at 843-620-4000. You're welcome to come any day, Monday through Friday, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I would love if you guys could come and pick up a stack of Juneteenth Mullins flyers to hand out all over town, because you're going to get some before you leave.
Of course. I'm on the clock. So yeah.
Pick up a stack of flyers or just stop by and see what we're doing. You can sign up for our text messaging. We have 1,600 people that are subscribed to our text messages, and we text about once or twice a week, letting them know what's going on at Pick42 Foundation with us as well as with our partners. So Juneteenth, June 17th at Smith Haven Park in Mullins. If you come to Mullins, you will be able to find Juneteenth Mullins, all right? But it's at Smith Haven Park, which is located on Buck Street. And one other thing I just want to get out. This year, I am a judge on Miss Juneteenth. And Miss Juneteenth is going to be held in Florence on June 10th.
Gotcha.
That's the week before Juneteenth Mullins. And so the winners will have appearances at Juneteenth Mullins as well. So you can come and meet some real queens.
Come on. Come on. Royalty at its best.
Yes.
Definitely. Thank you so much for being with us. And again, thank you for what you do in the community. We appreciate you so much.
Yes,
Thank you. Think Fam, don't you go away. Back in a moment.
Comedian Eric Escobar, the Mexipino millennial, and you are watching Gold right now. You know why? Because you're watching The Michael Finkley Show. Stay tuned.
What's up? So, I really wanted to expand this topic with y'all because I feel like this is very important in life. I feel like everybody needs to hear this and have this mindset. So this mindset I call just do your part. And as long as I do my part in life, everything that's gonna be there for me will find its own way to me. And so the beginning of this year, I made a commitment to myself that I just want to be committed. And if I be committed, I'm not going to worry about the results. I'm not going to worry about the lifestyle that I want to have because I might not get there right away. Things take time. And I understand that. So I knew that I just need to do my part and be consistent with everything that I'm doing. And I knew that a key point of that was that if I do my part, I'm going to get something out of it. So I knew if I be consistent, I'm going to get some results. If I be consistent in the gym, I'm going to get some results from my body. If I be consistent with my videos, if I be consistent with my brand, I'm going to gain a following. I'm going to gain, traction. I'm going to gain opportunities. But I knew that all comes with doing my part. And I think a lot of us have to have a mindset that if I do my part, if I just do what I'm supposed to do, then whatever is supposed to be there for me at this moment will be there for me. And I don't have to worry about jumping the gun. I don't have to worry about what I want to have. I don't have to worry about chasing things. It's going to find me on its own, in its own way. It's going to be there for me. But I have to do my part. I have to do the work. And I think a lot of us have to get that mindset right there. If you attain that mindset right there, attain the mindset that I'm going to do my part. No matter what comes with doing my part, the good is going to come with doing my part. I just have to do my part. And that's in literally everything in life. Everything in life. Relationships, like I said, the gym, like I said, business, every single thing in life has a part of it that you have to do in order to attain what you want out of it. And a lot of times we stop doing our part. So as long as you keep doing your part, that's all that matters.
So this is your Louisiana girl, Denise Boutte, coming at you on the Michael Finkley Show. And you guys may know me from Why Did I Get Married as the really sweet girl, Trina, or maybe Meet the Browns as Sasha. But I'm coming at you guys from the great state of California, but originally from Louisiana, because you know I can't lose that Southern girl, baby. All right, you guys stay tuned to Michael Finkley.
Hey, Think Fam, it's your favorite host, Michael Finkley, and you can listen to us on CTR Media Network. Go listen in.
Hi, I'm Patrick Fawcett. You might know me as Tony Watson from Tyler Perry's The Haves and the Have-Nots, and you are watching The Michael Finkley Show.
Hey, Think Fam, it's Michael Finkley here, and you can watch The Michael Finkley Show every Monday on YouTube. Don't you dare forget to subscribe.
We're live now. Countdown. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mother's Place. Yes, we are here live today. We have a very special guest with, yes, she is a gift because the topic that we're going to talk about today is so awesome. Yes. This is Shayna Asby, the Mother's Place. We're with the Mother's Place, where we educate, structure, and realign and equip mothers in order to stand strong and to be strengthened. So today I have a very special guest with us today by the name of Miss Joya Santiago. And today our topic is going to be reproductive justice. So at this time, let me tell you, this woman right here, I've been knowing her for a while, a long time, and I'm so grateful that she's basically in my life and for an opportune, a Kairos moment as this. So I want her to introduce herself.
Peace, y'all. First of all, it's an honor to be with you again, sharing space, even if it's cyberspace, you know.
Oh, Lord.
A lot of powerful things going on. And like our impetus to the next phase of our lives is happening at the same time. And that's even more dynamic. And that's a synchronicity that I cannot ignore. Like, all right, we're doing something now. It's business time. It's happening.
You're right.
It's happening all over.
Right. So you just introduce yourself and tell them who you are, Mama Joya.
Well, I'm Mama Joya Santiago. I have many names, and you know them. But right now, my focus is my nonprofit, Earthlight Health and Holistic Wellness, and our prime objective, and that is maternal and infant health, because that's the beginning. Mother is the first teacher. Mother is the first doctor. Mother is the first lawyer. Mother is God, especially to her children. Now, I'm not here to debate it, Father God, Mother God. I'm a universalist. I'm just here to deliver this message that's coming through me. And it's not a verbal message, really. It's an action. It's something that's happening. And I'm allowing myself to be a divine channel for this divine energy that's taking place. And Shayna resonated with that, and it's coming through her. And so we are united and doing our works in the earth together.
Whew, that part. That was so awesome. I am so ecstatic about this show today. Our topic today is reproductive justice. If anybody saw my Facebook page, and at this time, I'm going to go ahead and share this on other pages as well. If anybody saw my Facebook page, you would know what reproductive justice is. Bear with me one moment. Let me go ahead and get that up here.
So while you do that, I'll talk about Bond.
Go ahead.
That's our first program that we move forward to the people with. And Bond, BOND, it stands for Babies Open New Doors. It's a maternal and infant vitality program. And we're starting off with these mother support circles. We have one here in North Alabama where I live in Huntsville. Today was our first meeting, so it was pivotal. It's the spring equinox, and we popped off on the equinox. Next weekend, we're going to be having the Bond Mother Support Circle in Atlanta at the I Am Ascension Temple of Love. What an appropriate place. And we're taking this thing, we're playing it to the hilt. We're doing this in Detroit, everywhere. Everywhere there's an interest for mothers uniting in the best interest of ourselves and our families, Bond will be there.
Okay, I went ahead and I shared it on different pages because I want to make sure that you understand what reproductive justice is. I believe that every woman, every female, every girl should be able to see this message and actually talk about it or have something to say about it. And this affects us all as women, no matter like what age you are, no matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what religion you carry. It doesn't matter. But being a female, being a woman, this matters. This matters. Reproductive justice is a human right to maintain personal bodily autonomy, have children, not have children, and parent the children we have in safe and sustainable communities. Reproductive justice. So I'm going to ask you, Mama Joya, when you hear what I've just described as reproductive justice, or just the words reproductive justice, what does that mean to you?
It means an end to womb snatching. It means an end to womb poisons, toxins, womb poisons in the form of toxic relationships, food addictions, being out of control of our children, our creations. Reproductive justice, we can go on and on. Because how we have, men now able soon, they say, to have children, and how we have so many missing Black women, and there's no accountability for that, and how we have every time you go into the OBGYN, oh, we need to take this, we need to take that. When this body is a miracle, and it is given the right atmosphere, environment, it will self-heal. So we're not allowed to talk about these things. I'm banned and blocked on Facebook now. Why? Because I shared a flyer about a female rites of passage program I created for girls ages 6 through 12, but I'm soliciting sexual nudity and all kinds of things they accuse me of. Nah, but I'm not gonna let that stop me from doing the work.
Right. Oh my God. There's so many things that we can talk about when it comes to reproductive justice. You mentioned so many different topics. You talked about toxic relationships and how that is, that hurts the womb. We talked about, you were just, mentioning how environment plays a part on the womb. You also talked about the missing Black women that we have had. And this is true. We have had a lot of missing Black women. Mm-hmm. And so within that, what is going on?
Yeah. I was one of those missing Black women. I was kidnapped. I was taken to the white van. I escaped. A lot of us aren't given that opportunity, or we don't take the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I heard a voice in my head say, I'm going to save you, but you're going to have to try to save yourself. And that's when I reached for the door. The car door was unlocked, and I ran for my life in the snow with no shoes on, no clothes on. You understand? So, womb justice. Let's talk about the spirit of the womb. Let me back it up real quick. I learned later in my life that the womb has a consciousness. the womb feels. I lost my first husband to violence. The police killed him when I was 28 years old. And that's the first time I could say I felt my womb cry. I didn't know what was happening at the time, but when I was reflecting on all that happened and that feeling that I had, that's what that was. So when we talk about triple womb consciousness, the womb of our mind, the womb of our heart, and our physical wombs, it's a whole lot of work there. And I think that's why, like Elijah Muhammad said, 90% of the work is with the women. Yeah, we have a great responsibility that we shouldn't shirk. We should stand up in it. That's why I say it's Big Mama time, because we calling back our children, because the mother, Big Mama, is calling us to task. It's getting our attention by any means necessary.
Just dig that. Like, oh my God, womb consciousness, understanding that the womb cries, understanding that even as we're pregnant and we're creating, that we're connected to the womb and that the baby feels everything that we feel, that there's a feeling. Elevating to a state of understanding that we're connected. We're connected to everything and everybody. So that is definitely a powerful statement within itself. So the first topic can we talk about today? What would like the first one you want to talk about today as far as reproductive justice? You know, my thing is with reproductive justice is safe and sustainable environments for our community. I feel like, you know, here we are, we're people, we're in this earth, and especially in the African American community, but we do not feel safe within our own environments when it comes to our children. You know, a lot of things has happened with whether it was the George Floyd situation, whether it's the school shootings, all these different things have been happening, and our children have been affected tremendously about it. So not just us ourselves, but our children have been affected, whether it's mentally, whether it's physically, whether it's spiritually, and it creates an unsafe environment. Like you know, we should not have a whole bunch of discussions or a whole bunch of movies that actually, you know, talk about how we feel as Black mothers. It shouldn't even be a situation if we're living our lives as God wants us to, dealing with human rights. Because we should be able to have a safe community where our sons and our daughters thrive.
Yeah.
They should be thriving without fault, because their lives are necessary. Their lives are important on this earth instead of being emasculated. And so the things that I feel like that has went on recently have emasculated a lot of our young Black boys. There's more suicides amongst the population with African American boys. There's self-esteem, counseling. There's more. Anytime you see a lot more grants, I know it's a situation. You know, a lot of situations.
Absolutely.
But let's talk about this, about the environment.
The way I look at it, this society is diametrically opposed, and I'm talking about Western society, American society, diametrically opposed to a so-called Black man being a man and manifesting as a man. And a lot of times sisters don't see, because we're looking at it like, dang, you ain't got your half of the rent, or, you know, that we don't realize how much harder it is for them to make it in corporate society, or to even get a regular job, because they're targeted by the police, but from the time they hit puberty. And so some of them have a little background, you know, in a criminal justice situation, and they never really recover. Some of grown men don't have their birth certificate. I mean, it's simple thing. Don't have a social security card. Not to say that we need these things or we should have them, but I'm saying as far as getting a job or a supportive man that's creating work, you know what I'm saying? We have to do those things. But no, the society is not set up to that, because if that happens, it's not going to be their society anymore. It'll be our autonomous society again. And that's a direct threat to the powers that be.
Wow, it's so funny that you even talk about that, because we can sit up here and we can talk about, because we see it every day, about what's going on inside of our African American communities when it comes to our young boys and when it comes to our Black men, which is a direct impact that deals with reproductive justice. I was talking to someone today, and I talked about, as you know, we within the African American family have been, you know, we are going through a new walk in life. We're understanding who we are, but at the same time of understanding who we are, it's like a new day, and we're coming forward. So within that process, we're understanding everything that has happened to us in the past. And Some of us are doing the healing work, some of us are not. Some of us are still in the process of waking up. Some of us have not woke up.
Yeah.
But what I've been running into a lot lately is a lot of women, wives and mothers, who are hurt at what happened with them in relationships. And one of the things that I talk to them about is understanding that when we come together, we're individual first. We're
That's right.
coming together to become one in a marriage. And with that marriage, we're supposed to hold true to that marriage, right? Meaning that we hold true to that, meaning that we're going to work out our problems, even that we have individually together.
Mm-hmm.
But some things have happened, and now it's causing us to separate from that man, and that woman to separate from that man, or that man to separate from that woman, because of them not really healing themselves or being healed from past situations that they're bringing into their current environments. So
Mhm.
I was telling a young lady today that we have to learn how to forgive them because they too were broken.
Yeah. Yeah. And forgive ourselves first.
That part, yes.
And that's why I mean, I had to be honest with myself because trying to be single, I was married at 21 and I didn't really know how to be single. I'm like, okay, I'm in love, let's do this. Inside, I'm not even myself yet because I'm still dealing with the broken part of me and what I lost and how to grieve and mourn and how to be a family, just me and my children, me and my shorties. So yeah, it was difficult. And the healing is continuing. I'm 44, no shame. I'm not in a relationship right now. I do have suitors, but I'm not rushing because I've done that and that doesn't work. Because at this stage of the game, Joya is building. Joya is making moves. Joya has a plan, and I have to respect where brothers may be. So if it don't go like this, we ain't supposed to do it. And it's less about lust and love is love. Love is there. But it's more about how productive am I with this person? Are we building in the opposite direction? I need you to give me 5 seconds off camera so they can go buy some food. I got my purse up here.
Okay. I'll go ahead. So, as you see, guys, we are definitely here. We're talking about reproductive justice. We're talking about how important it is to understand who we are as a people, especially in the African and American community, and how a lot of things that has happened within society, dealing with George Floyd, dealing with the communities, dealing with the school system, the school shootings, how they have actually created a situation, or they have directly or indirectly affected us as a people. And we are also talking about how we as a people have become broken, and that we have to get this understanding of our individual selves so we can be better stewards for our family. And so that means that it's self-healing, understanding our past pain, facing that past pain in order to go forward within life. This is something that we have to do, but we also have to take the time to do it. And what I realized that in this community, a lot of mothers and a lot of us as mothers, we don't have time. We don't have time to cry. We don't have time to grieve. We don't have time to bring a baby into this earth. We don't have time to bond with baby. We don't have time to bond with each other. We don't have time to build relationships with our children because they're always at school, or we're always at work. We don't have time. And so this conversation today, dealing with reproductive justice, is one of those shifting moments of understanding that we have a serious situation, because we want to win in this world. We want to win in this life. We want to win, and winning is seeing our children win. So anything that affects our children from winning should be a serious situation for all females across the board. And as I see it, there are situations that have affected our children traumatically. That means that a lot of our children have been traumatized. Not only have our children been traumatized, but we have also been traumatized in this community as well. And so now we have Mama Joya, who's going to come back on the screen, and we're going to talk about some of those traumatic experiences that we have had within this community that affects reproductive justice, because that is a part of reproductive justice. Anytime that I'm having situations with getting pregnant or situations with reproducing or situations with not wanting to have a child, we have many women now who don't even want to be mothers, who don't even want to have children. When we have people, this is a God-given right, meaning this is something that's spiritual that was given to us. This was something that was natural. Anytime we have somebody or something or some other entity that comes up across or against us in our natural element, it should be a problem. It should be a problem. So this right here is reproductive justice.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the aspect of reproductive justice and the water, and how water, the politics of water, it represents reproductive justice. So without water, there is no life. You know, a child is conceived in water and nurtured in water. We need water for hygiene. We need water in our bodies to make sure nutrients get to where they're supposed to go and to clean our body. So if the water ain't right, the reproduction ain't right. So a lot of people don't know all that is involved with reproductive justice, and why we do need to get educated about it. We do need to organize as women first, women within our respective communities, to address some of these concerns as far as reproductive justice is concerned. I'm thinking about Flint, you know, that whole crisis with the water and how that, you know, affected reproductive justice, and how and low birth outcomes and the infant and maternal mortality ratios there. We have to address the cultural disparities that exist in birth, and it's by design. We have to know that when we talk about it, we have to know this is by design. Nothing just happens. You know, there's history involved, there are politics involved, there are players involved. You know, we are being exterminated. They're trying. I believe it's futile, but we need to act like we are at war. And I'm not talking about just with a people. I'm talking about principalities. I'm talking about principles. I'm talking about life over death, AI over livity, something that's alive and ambient. I'm a person. I'm an animated spirit, you know, not just this flesh.
That's right. So when you talk about, you hit on so many points. But when you talked about the water crisis and what happened in Flint, that was definitely a total direct hit for our youth. You know, when we talk about Flint, Flint is in Michigan, is mostly an African American community. We as a people, we as mothers, we should have been livid. We should have been outraged at what came down the pipeline when it came to understanding how toxic the water was. Because this was a direct hit. It was definitely a direct hit with us, and it's going on in so many more communities as far as how bad the water crisis was. So within that water crisis and what happened with the Flint situation, and because we know that there's so many different places that have water toxicity, what can we do as a community in order to better educate ourselves and better educate people about the toxicity of the water?
Well, they have reports, you know, the water principalities in where you live. Here, I think it's called Harvest Monrovia. So they have reports about what's in the water. We're not drinking tap water, but we are bathing in it. We are cooking our food with it. We are washing our dishes in it. So here again, the answer is, to me, the only solution is finding some land with a group of people. You know, I think you have a better chance of surviving if you're with a group of people, of like-minded individuals, and taking some autonomy with your water. There are different methods that we can purify water with: moringa leaves, charcoal, limestone. Like, it's a lot of content online about purifying water. It's a lot of people that are selling water, a lot of us that sell water that have natural springs on their land. You have to know what type of water, because all alkaline water ain't good water, because it's put through a machine and ionized, and okay, it's still not, it's alkaline, but it's not organic. This is not a natural thing. So we need to be drinking structured water.
So there's no way that we can actually, in this environment or in this society, you know, kind of like push back to make sure that we are gaining the natural purities of water. Because what people don't really understand, because when you talked about the shower water and when you talked about all these things, is that 80% of what we put on our body falls in our goes in our bloodstream.
Directly.
So that means that if it's not that we're just drinking the water, we're taking showers in this water, we're bathing in this water, that this water is still affecting the bloodstream because it's falling in there. So is there a way that we actually can go to our municipalities to push back to make sure that we have the best running water even in low income or underdeserved communities?
You can
Underserved communities?
always lobby politically and organize for activism. That is, a viable option too. But where I am in my walk, I don't want to live like we've been living. I'm tired of this. I want to live on some land that I have some ownership in. I want to grow my own food. I want to dig wells for groundwater and purify that water. And who's to say that I want to live like that forever? I do, in my logical mind. And I'm not even, I believe all of us, we could walk away from this. The land is abundant, but we have to have some place to come to. And we have to start thinking like leaders, more of us. Because all my life, I consider myself, I've been a follower because I never really challenged the options given. Like, I'll just move to this neighborhood. It's nicer. The school system is better here. I'm sure the water is better because the people have more money here. That's putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound to me. So we have to step into the shoes of self-sustainability now. We have to watch what we put into the earth, because what you put into the earth goes into the water. Yeah, we can protest these people. We can boycott. We can disenfranchise them. That's a step. Stop taking these money from these jokers. Stop giving them our money and start recycling our dollars through our own communities. That's a very powerful step. Somebody produce some damn paper, toilet paper, and some paper towel. Let's get practical with our freedom and our liberation. I would love to spend money with my own people for everything, because it's a lot of communities that live like that. We haven't had a taste of that life because nobody told us that it's possible and that we could do it.
Wow. You just said a lot. You just said a lot.
I want to make sure we touch on something too about
yes, we can go
the justices.
Yes, go ahead.
Keep
Keep
going.
going.
Some of the stories. Now, I've had 5 home births, and I have had 3 hospital births, and you see how they do us. I'll talk about a good friend of mine went to the emergency room. She was pregnant. Come to find out, it's twins, ectopic pregnancies. So they say, okay, with an ectopic pregnancy, they have to take the fallopian tube or you could lose your life. You probably will bleed to death. Well, she woke up and they had took everything. And this is a young, healthy woman that had 2 children already. You understand? So it's a lot of that kind of stuff going on. Say something happens during the course of pregnancy and, you lose your baby. The treatment that a lot of women get. I talked to a woman about a month ago. She was a client of mine. She said, I basically went home with a box. So there was no safety net for her mental health, for her physical needs, because she had to give birth to this baby that wasn't alive, but there was nothing. I remember when I had to get my first cut, a C-section. Now, the white women, they were giving these, they look like waist trainers things to, keep you together. Joya didn't get one. I had to ask for one. Other people didn't have to ask. I had to ask 3 times for something that should be given. Something they were getting from my insurance. They were getting money from the insurance anyway. But things like that. And we're dying having babies because we don't have a voice as a collective and we're not respected because we have not demanded it as yet. So I'm tired of talking. That's where I'm with. I'm tired of talking. And I need to connect with other people who are tired of talking. Because whatever goes down out there, me and my children are going to survive this. No plan B.
I'm just so appalled even what you just said. Like, you said a lot right here. First of all, women not given time to grieve when they're having their baby stillborn. That's number 1. Going home with the box, number 2. When you're having a baby by a C-section and you're not giving wraps in order to get your body back into the right figure,
How
But
about I didn't even need a C-section? How many of us, they get way more money when you get a C-section? How about they took that option away from me and lied to me and accused me of being combative, which I am, and it got to the point, these people keep coming in. They called the Department of Human Services on me because no, you're not finna give my baby a shot. No, we're not doing that. No, I don't want a social security card. I'm not you, and everybody's coming at you at once. You have no privacy. And that's another way they take away your voice and your rights. Call who you want to call. I start throwing stuff. They left me alone. So it's gonna come down to you demanding your inalienable right to life. And that's what it's getting down to.
I just, I just thought about one of my first stories that was on, I believe it was on The Mother's Place, and it could have been another show I had called Transformative Shifts, where we had a nurse who was on here and she talked about how she was having issues with getting pregnant, and she ended up getting pregnant with twins. Now, she was a nurse. She was she was actually a nurse there at the same hospital. And she went through a lot of issues with getting pregnant, complications. And she said just to be that person on the other side, having to be the person in the bed, to think about what they may be thinking, the nurses coming in, or how they were acting, it kind of like put her in a different perspective. When it comes to nurses, she was like, I thought about, are they gonna go out there and laugh, talk, act like this didn't happen?
Everything they've been doing to other Black women,
right?
And not saying nothing necessarily,
right? And it was just like, oh my God, because there comes a point in time where a lot of us, I'm pretty sure we've had those jobs where we had to make those decisions that best benefited us for that time, and sometimes there's going to come times in our lives where we're going to have to walk away from those jobs that may affect us at that point in time. Meaning that when I get up, if I'm not here today, somebody else is going to be here tomorrow. As you know, I just lost my little brother, my second little brother, within the last couple of months. It was really, really a hard time. And it's still, it's still not easy, because with my mom, I'm the last child. And my mother had to get right back up and go to work. She had to get right back up and go to work within the next week or two. There was no compassion. She had to tell them, I just buried my second son. They didn't have any, there was no remorse. It was like, when do you come back to work? What are you going to do? Well, you just took off for COVID. You had COVID. You already took off. You already took off for, you basically already took off for COVID because you had COVID. Your son just died. So, basically, like, when are you coming back to work? This, like, affected me. Where are we in the mindset that we're not even in a time that we feel other people's pain and understand that we are human? We are people. We are affected. We have to sit down and take in everything that's happened to us. And a lot of us have not had time to grieve, had not had time to process a lot of things that happened to us, but then they want to make money on mental health.
Oh yeah, it's a racket. It's a racket. I was told, by family members, take the children to therapy. They need counseling for grief and da 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 da. That's not what helped us get over. Tapping in helped us get over. You understand? Having these fire talks by the fire, tapping into spirit and nurturing our spirituality as a family is how we healed, how we got over. So
right.
You have to understand the nature of the beast. Anytime you're dealing with an entity that has a calcified pineal gland, they cannot relate to your emotion. There's no empathy and compassion there. Look at the history of what these entities have done on the planet.
So let's break that down. The calcification of the pineal gland. So the pineal gland is a small but strong and very important piece of the brain that actually helps you get the melanin in your skin. It creates melatonin. It actually helps you with the melanin. It also gives you a higher sense of spirituality. with the Father in order to be connected, knowing who you are. It also helps you connect with your higher self, meaning that you walk into the royalty of who you are. A lot of us have a pineal gland, but unfortunately, because of the toxicity within the earth, whether it's the elements, whether it's drinking soda, whether it's eating toxic food, or being around toxic people or traumatic situations, have calcified the pineal gland, so we can't reach that higher element of who we are, as far as ourselves. So that right there in itself is a part of reproductive justice, and I'm pretty sure
fluoride in the water to prevent us from prevent us from perceiving spiritual phenomenon, and to keep us chill, to keep them from doing anything. We're just going to, slowly poison. We dealing with high level witchcraft right now. I'm sorry, I'm putting it out there, sis. That's what it is. Because some people have a 500-year plan for how they want society to flow. But when you're dealing with the people like us that have been displaced in our own home, this land, and abroad, we're displaced in space and time because his story they gave us wasn't the story, wasn't our story. So we really don't, all of us don't know who we are exactly. I'm still getting downloads. Every day is something new. And I asked for that because it was important to me to know who I am essentially. Who am I in my core, in my space, identity?
I'm just so grateful for what you just said. I'm still in the process of, talking to people about the core. The core of who we are is so, 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 so important. And understanding that core. So I love that you talked about that. I love that you brought that up and understanding. And in order to understand, sometimes we have to go back, and it's not always going back to the past things that hurt you, but looking at cause and effect and being real with the situations, but moving forward with that. So that means that even as we talk about us and ourselves and understanding the core of who we are, wouldn't you say that a part of reproductive justice is not allowing another entity to walk in its higher self-consciousness or self-spirituality of who they are, recognizing that we are a people who are of royalty and that we're connected to the Father and that blood is royalty within itself? So elevating the mind spiritually and consciously and walking as queens and kings and not just the word of mouth, meaning that real kings protect their kingdom. Real kings know how to treat a queen. And so does a queen. She does the same thing, and she's not going to allow harm to come to her kingdom or to her status as far as being royalty. Meaning that we protect not just ourselves, but we protect everybody else that comes with ourselves that's a part of our connection. And that's a great divine connection. And to me, connecting with your higher self, understanding that how we are connected to the Father, that is royalty. And really, that is actually heaven on earth. That's divinity.
That is. And it's something that you decide to have in the moment, in the here and now. Not something we're waiting on, because I'm not waiting. When I cross that threshold, that gateway into my home, oh, I'm in the kingdom right here. Right here.
Yes. Wow. Would you like to elaborate more on what you do as far as bond and how you educate the women on our connection or their connections with the womb as they're pregnant?
Okay, so I try not to go in there like the dictator with an agenda, because it's a meeting, but it's more like a gathering. That's the vibe I wanted to give today. And I want them to decide. I want us to decide as a collective, where is our focus? What's important to us? We live in this community. What do we want to do? What can we create? Because it's like, I'm trying to put you in touch with your power. This is your neighborhood. We can have any kind of event. We can have a project. What can we do to make where we live a better place? And so I'm throwing questions out there to stimulate thought, to create new paradigms, because that's where our solution is going to come from. These divine ideals that we manifest together.
Wow. And so you're looking at it and from a perspective of not just educating them about how their baby is important, how they connect, but also how we will want our worlds to look or our
Mhm.
environments to look for the baby.
Yeah, I named this circle, this program, Babies Open New Doors, because, and I know you experienced this as a woman, when you have a child, you're a new creature. You're not the same. Hormonally, you are different forever. You will, it's a rite of passage that we go through. And so we kind of get lost sometimes. That's why I think women get postpartum, so-called postpartum depression. It's the hormonal imbalance. But what brings you back to yourself is focusing on you. You're still, you know, an entity, or you're still a nation unto yourself. And sometimes we get isolated because we're not coming out of the house as much. And it's important to link with other mothers because you're not alone, but you might start feeling like you're alone and you don't have that support. So this is bringing you out. Hey, yeah, you had a baby, y'all come out. Toddlers, babies, you're welcome. We had some children there, you know. So yeah, it's creating a space for you as a woman, as a mother. You're a new manifestation, but you have purpose, and this is who you are. Now, when it comes to breastfeeding support and doula support, I'm there for that. You know, I'm not a lactation consultant, but I am a breastfeeding peer counselor. I've got that certification, and I'm a certified doula. So if someone has questions, I'm definitely there, but I don't try to, I try not to dominate what we're talking about. I'm listening to them. You know, some of the conversation was talking about exotic dancing today and baby daddy stuff, and, you know, but I kind of always lead whatever we're talking about back to taking some accountability. How did you show up in the situation? Well, you chose them, you know, let's talk about it. Cause I did some choosing myself, you know.
Yes, and that goes right back, and it's so important that we talk about those things because that does go back to reproductive justice, is
Mhm.
accountability, and we talked about that. I think we touched on that a little bit earlier on the phone today, and it
Mhm.
was about how we as women we show up, and that we have to take accountability, meaning that we have a high statistics within the African American community of abortions. We have a high statistics of single mothers. Single mothers we actually should be running the world right now, especially in the United States. We have the highest rate of single mothers
So yeah,
right
most
here.
of our homes are single parent homes
Our
now.
single parent homes.
Yeah.
So that comes with the issue as well. But at the same time, it comes with the accountability of us not to keep going out there repeating the same mistakes, but to hold accountability so we'll have the wisdom not to walk back into the same situation.
Mhm.
To be where we are as single mothers.
You know, it was my sister. You know, sis, she was the one to pull my clothes. I'm like, dang, I keep getting the same type of dude. You know, she was like, it's you. You the same. You walking into these relationships the same. There's some things that you need to address inside of you. And then you'll start attracting a different type of man. And that's very true.
It does. Because a lot of times it starts with self.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with something within ourselves that we got to fix or we got to look at to see what it is that we're putting out there, or we're accepting this type of man.
Yeah.
And that goes back to the divine status of understanding who we are in order to walk into a higher status of divinity, as well as it still affects with reproductive justice, because what we don't realize is that as we're impacting our children's lives, we're impacting them not being having that bond with that other mate. So it's three. It takes two people to create one child, which is three.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important that we get back to understanding our important role within that and holding ourselves accountable so we won't keep repeating the same mistakes.
That's
so we
right.
can have a lower abortion rate. We don't have to deal with birth control. We don't have to deal with all these other man-made things that keep us from not, giving life when we were actually naturally put here to reproduce.
Yo, you just reminded me of something. My first child, mind you, I'm 21. I'm happy to be pregnant. I'm married. You know what I'm saying? I go into the doctor and there was this nurse with this stupid hat. I'll never forget. And she was one of us. So, what are we going to do to prevent this from happening again? And I looked at that woman and I said, what do you mean? I'm happy to be pregnant. Don't you want to do other things with your life? I wanted to say a whole bunch of 4-letter words, but I just told her, I said, well, I'm in college, I'm married, I just ran it down to her because I'm proud of myself. But after a while, I stopped talking and I looked around and it was just us in there, and we just going in there like cattle. You know what I'm saying? We just going in, coming out. I just stood up and I walked out. I was done. I had my baby at home in East Africa on the floor in my bedroom, and it was exhilarating.
Wow.
I was totally turned off by the Western medical industrial system. I was done.
Wow. I'm so sorry that you had that experience. And that was your first child?
My first child. And it was Riverview Hospital in Detroit on Jefferson.
Wow.
So this is how they see us. This is how we see us. Because you are me and I am you. This is how I'm looking at the lady. But
I like how you said that. I am you and you are me and we are you. We're each other.
we
If
are.
we have a problem when we don't look at each other like that, especially us as women. So what affects one woman should affect us all. And
Absolutely.
I'm affected by that.
I was so inspired when I saw how Senegalese women have all these associations, and African women, period. They have lots of associations, women's associations, women's group, and how they support each other and how they're economically empowered because of their women's associations, and they're not looking for nothing from nobody else. We need that. We need to stop looking at each other like competition, even when it comes down to a man. Now, let me tell you something. I ain't never shared no man. You understand? My parents been married for 54 years. It's just been the two of them, as far as I know. However, I understand polygamy has its place. Historically, in times of war, we did that so that all of the sisters, everybody, and women and children were accounted for. Now I'm out here and I see what's going on. You know what's going on. We know what's going on. I'm not really accounted for. You understand? I don't have that protection. I don't have that covering. All right. Once upon a time, I said I would never be in a polygamous union. But now I'm looking at it a little bit different, because I was saying that from a space of like physically, I don't think I want to share. Somebody might be nasty. I don't know. Or he might spend more time with her. Okay, to hell with all of that. I want to survive, but I don't want to just be with anyone. It takes a special kind of brother and sisters to make that institution of polygamy work, because it does work for some people. It does. And it's a lot of us out here pretending and playing and snapshots on Instagram and stuff. We polygamous, we poly, da-da-da-da. Well, what are you producing? What are you producing? And can we do it can you do it with one woman? What are you creating with her before you want to bring in somebody else? Because y'all making a lot of mess and the children are suffering and they're looking at it and they're growing up not understanding morals. Because it's 2022 and don't nobody care about morals anymore, but morals will always matter.
I don't know about you. I don't know about some of these other people out here, but I'm always about morals, ethics, and values. Okay.
Period. It's the basis of culture. And as a woman, it's our responsibility to be keepers of the culture. You understand? Because we set the tone for the household. Household sets the tone for the community. Community sets the tone for the nation. You understand? So there's a man, heavy is the head that wears that crown.
I like that. Heavy is the head that wear that crown. And that we as mothers, we wear that crown. So this show today, again, if you're just tuning in, this is the Mother's Place with Mama Joya Santiago. We are here talking about reproductive justice and things that affect us as far as being mothers. Again, I'm going to read this definition of what reproductive justice is. And reproductive justice is the human rights to maintain personal bodily autonomy, have children, not have children, and parent the children we have in safe, sustainable communities. So anything that comes with coming up against mother as being healthy, having a healthy baby, being able to build relationships with our children, being able to have great, good food and water within our communities, anything that comes up against us as being mothers and being, great mothers. I'm talking about mothers that walk in purpose, mothers that not just walk in purpose, but that connect with their children, have that bond. Anything that comes up against us as being mothers, we should have a problem with. we should have a problem with.
You just
Anything
said a word too. You spoke about women that don't have children. So and that touches my heart because a good friend of mine didn't want to come to the motherhood meeting because she doesn't have children and she doesn't really want children. And it's so okay.
It's okay.
For you to feel like that. You don't have to do it. Matter of fact, she's such a help and a blessing in my life. Like she'll take one of my children out just for that one-on-one time sometimes because I'm fighting for time. And when mama got some free time and some money, we doing the group thing. Let's go, y'all, But she'll say, oh, I'm gonna take this one to get to the cafe or whatever and take this one shot. And I love that. Just because you're not a mother, just because you haven't physically had a child doesn't mean you're not a mother. You're a mother of the community.
Yes.
You're a support to, women that may not have support.
Yes.
And you got to big up the aunties.
What? Can we say that one more time? Wait a minute. Wait.
Aunties.
Big up the aunties. Just because you don't have a child, but the aunties always fill in. Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
The aunties, the godmothers, the women who step in. I used to be a babysitter back in the day. I'm pretty sure Leslie might be watching this and she might be watching this later. We talked this morning. I used to watch her kids for free. I used to love babysitting. I used to love kids. And I still love children today. But I used to babysit for free. And we do need to embrace that, even other people, other women who may not be mothers, they too have mothers. So they know they add value to this conversation as well.
Absolutely.
And they add value to the community as well. So that was definitely a great shout out. A great shout out. A big up to the aunties. Big up to the aunties.
I got a big up for Don Tanae. I love you. You are valued. I missed you today. And you are a mother of the community. Period.
Awesome. I am so grateful that we are having this conversation today about reproductive justice and talking about within this, everything that we talked about sisterhood. Sisterhood is definitely a big thing within our community. What can we do more as a community to embrace, build, and strengthen the sisterhood that comes along with being? Because one thing that we do have in common is that we're women. We're women, we have mothers, and we had to have had a mother in order to be who we are or be where we are today. So how can we do more of coming together and embracing that sisterhood like this? Can you tell me something about the Senegalese women when you were in Africa that you noticed about their sisterhood and that we can actually implicate within the U.S.?
I'll tell you, when I was in Africa, I was in East Africa. I got a chance to observe Senegalese women and how they associate through my daughter's father. He's Senegalese. And just watching his mother and how she moved, and we can definitely emulate it. It's going to take us being comfortable with being vulnerable to us. And we don't want to do that. Oh, I get along better with men. We got to stop saying dumb shit like that. I'm just saying, we have to love us. We have to embrace one another. We have to put down the petty and the jealousy and pick up I love myself and you're a reflection of me. So I love you too. I told a sister today, I love you. I never told her that before, but she showed up today. Her children are, they ain't even little no more. They 13, 18, but she came because she's still a mom, she's still a mother. And it just felt good to have her support and to see her there and what she contributed to the cipher. Like I think it was the new moon, I had to get together because kind of the women I talked to that day on the phone, we were all feeling like this heaviness and a little depression. And I was like, y'all, let's just get together. Let's talk. Let's have a sister circle. So they came over to the crib and it was my first time with these women in my home. Like they're not women I associate with, this happened through Facebook and over the phone. Like, and we showed up and it was hard to go home. It was hard for people to leave because the vibe was so good. So I believe in us. I believe in our sisters. I do. And some sisters have hurt my feelings. Let me tell you, treated me bad. You understand? Recently. I was ghosted by somebody I loved, a sister that I identified with so strong. Won't answer the phone for me. Nothing happened. And I'm hoping she's okay.
Right. So basically, y'all heard it right here from Mama Joya Santiago. something that she picked up within another culture, another environment that we can actually duplicate and implicate within this culture or in this society is sisterhood.
Oh,
I
and you
mean,
look at it all around the world. When there's a political shift to take place, the women will pop it off. The women will end wars. Like, all right, we're not fighting no goddamn war. Ain't nobody, we bonded together. Who gonna shoot down the mama? Nobody. And once we realize that's the kind of power we have, some shit gonna change here.
I'm trying not to get emotional.
I don't know, me too.
I'm sorry. I'm trying not to get emotional right now.
This has been building. We've been talking about this ever since you and I started building again and vibing. Like, okay, it's time. We've been talking a lot. We're talking too much. It's time to do every day. Seize the moment. Take the time that day. I'll make change here. I'm doing something to improve my life, to change my environment, to make it better. Or I'm gonna create something new.
I just felt like when you said that, it was just like I got tears. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yo, I can't sleep at night. And I know I'm not the only one. I'm sick of this. I'm tired of the status quo. We are not okay. I know we live in our best life on Instagram and on Facebook. We are not okay. Our families are not okay. And the quicker we admit this and be vulnerable to each other, man unto woman, woman unto man, and the children listen to them as well, we can heal and we can fix this. And we can create something beautiful and something that's ours and something that's safe and something that affirms life for us. We don't get a lot of that from this society. And we're not going to get it.
I agree. I'm just so emotional right now because there's a lot of our young men and there's a lot of our young brothers and there's a lot of our sons who have lost lives, and our daughters who have lost lives because of issues within our society, and that have not been fair or, issues within the culture as far as, the breakdown of generational curses. Let's talk about it. Generational curses that have directly impacted our children because of some of the mistakes that we have made, whether it was consciously or not, subconsciously.
No other people have dealt with this level of trauma like us. My mother lost 2 of her brothers to gun violence, to some stuff that didn't make no sense. You understand? And so when it happened to my husband, I didn't see my mother cry. I couldn't cry. And it could have been from the shock of all that happened. It took a sister singing. We have things, we have ancient knowledge that helps us move. We have to move through trauma. It has to move through the flesh. It has to come. It has to be expressed. We have to sing. We have to dance. We have to shout. We have to go back to the way it was. We have to dance by the fireside. Call it conjure. Call it what you want. This is the wisdom our ancestors left us. This is the information that's being downloaded again because they ain't went nowhere. We just have to let them in.
I definitely believe in God, and I definitely know that God is definitely connected to us. And I definitely believe that a lot of our people who have went on, they're still here, and that's because of a lot of the gifts that I have. But at the same time, I feel like that we owe it to the ones who have passed to recreate, reshape, and redirect ourselves, so we won't keep repeating the same cycles, keep repeating the same things that has been broken within us for so long. It was a Carolyn, I think her name is Jennifer Carolyn. We talked about this the other day, and she said that we in our 40s, we in this area, we are supposed to reshape society right here, right now. Everything that we have learned, we should be going forward within that in order not to repeat the same mistakes and pass it on to the next generation so they would learn from us not to do the same things.
Yeah. And what to do. Like, for a lot of us, there was no rite of passage. We didn't understand what that meant. coming into womanhood, you know. So there are these cultural norms that need to be recreated for us. And as mothers, that's our job, you know, for our children. We can't do it for the boys like the rites of passage, but fathers can. It's still a lot of brothers out here that are good, that are here and available to their community, and we just need to rally around them and support them supporting us. I have a lot of good brothers in my life, a lot of good men in my life I'm proud of.
That is me too. Me too. I really do too. That I can pick up the phone and call.
This
They
is a
can
good
listen.
time for me to tell you what we're getting ready to do in Detroit, because it's going down April 9th in Detroit. And it's private because we had to do it this way. But it's a community call to action and memorial tribute for Baba Yale and Joma Yale. And that was my deceased husband. And he did a lot of work in the community, like working with the health department and teaching people about sexual STIs, STDs. And he did a lot of that work. He did a lot of work in the schools with violence prevention because it was serious. You know, he lived in Detroit in the 80s and a lot went down. We lost a lot of people. So these things are still issues. So we just need to add a little fire to it and make it real in 2022. Like, yeah, remember this man, remember this work. It's still work that needs to be done. It's still work that is being done. It's brothers out here and sisters that are, you know, and we invited them, hey, talk about what you're doing so people know. It might not get a lot of publicity online with, you know, glitter and all of that shit that we don't need, but it's worthy because this is a saving grace. This is what we need.
I am so honored that you came and you visited us today, Mama Joya, to talk about reproductive justice. I am so honored that you are going forth in the work that you were purposed to do on this earth to educate us about the importance of motherhood, the importance of mother, and that you stood in the fire even after the death of your husband. We have been through so many things, and I know some of your story, even the story of how we met. You know,
You can speak on it. It's okay because I feel like my life is my testimony, you know.
Yes. So I want to share something with everyone that everybody probably did not know or had not known. Um, what year was it, Mama Joya, that your situation happened in Detroit?
That last situation?
Yeah, the situation where I spoke at the event.
Okay, that was 2015.
Okay. So in the year 2015, there was this big situation that was all over the news where there was a kidnapper who had kidnapped a lot of different women. And it just so happened that he kidnapped his last victim. And his last victim just happened to be Mama Joya. The incident was all over the news. It was all over TV. We had so many political representation, so many people, politics. If you know anything about Detroit, everybody was talking about this situation. And one of my girlfriends told me that was one of her girlfriends. And I was like, are you serious? You know, it's all over the news. She said, yes, she's creating this event called A Woman's Worth. And she needs an MC.
And I came up with the name because, and a lot of women might not admit this, but when someone tries to take your womb space and they have not been invited in, it can make you feel worthless. I had some serious self-worth issues behind that. You know, am I still pure and clean? Am I still beautiful? Or maybe no one wants to be with me because I went through this. So
it was very traumatic. Kidnapping. I'm not sure how far it even went within the kidnapping, but of course we know rape is involved when it comes to men kidnapping women. You know, it was a serious situation.
I learned a lot because, especially about human trafficking, because he took me to where it was happening, and he was like, "Well, you know, I won't let them take you because I already been paid, but you got to do this or that. You understand? And I'll take you home." I didn't want to get in that white van with them people. So that's really a big deal. That's really happening. And nobody is talking about it because it's us, you know, that's being taken.
This situation was so serious, and she needed an MC, and the girlfriend introduced her to me, and I was actually the MC for this event. I was so honored that somebody who had just been kidnapped wanted to still be community, wanted to still give back to her community. Even though she didn't speak, she allowed me to come up there on that stage and be the voice for her for that whole program
And
where we
thank you.
had so that you're
I
welcome. No,
never
it was
said
an
thank
honor.
you.
It was
I
an honor.
had so much to say. I know that I couldn't get up there and be poised, or I would
It
have
was
lost it.
it was an honor. It was definitely an honor. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that situation in order for us to meet. But it was one of those Kairos moments where I was supposed to meet you at that time.
Yep.
Who would have known that that happened in 2015, that in 2018 I myself would be kidnapped and raped?
You couldn't make this shit up. I'm gonna say that. I could not believe it when you told me that.
And I remember just coming back to you and saying that a lot of things were given, a lot of knowledge, a lot of information, a lot of brothers stepped up.
Mm-hmm.
Even Sankofa. Sankofa is in Detroit. Shout out to you, Sankofa. You'll always be my big brother. I don't care what nobody say. But he even stepped up to help me with wanted to give me self-defense classes. It's so important that we as women, we take self-defense classes. But at the same time, how to survive through situations like that.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, I was kidnapped and I was raped, me and my son. And it was definitely a serious situation. And to go back and tell Mama Joya, like, I appreciate you. So I just want to say I appreciate you for not just holding yourself in within that situation, but sharing it with other people so other people can learn how to get healing and actually come forth with that and be able to be a testimony to that so we won't keep walking back in the same situations. We have to learn how to come together out here and to be a sisterhood and stop being quiet about the things that harm us when we're alone, about the things that harm us when we're in physical violence relationships, abusive relationships, dealing with domestic violence. We have to stop getting into our households and locking ourselves up and being mad at our children because we're mad at the world or we're mad at the daddy. We have to learn how to get up out of ourselves and reach out to a sister, reach out to somebody that we know is going to give us some great information or lift our heads up, or get to a therapist, get to therapy. Build more of these sister circles. So Mama Joya, again, I just want to say that I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart, for coming forth with a woman's worth, because a woman's worth is definitely necessary, and it's necessary for a time as this, because this woman and those women are our future generation of being mother. So thank you again for what you do. Thank you for your organization, the connectability, everything, and I look forward to seeing more of what you do in the future. So do you have any? You're welcome. Do you have any last words?
I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop.
Don't. We need you.
And you put that back into my memory about, some people didn't want me to talk about what happened. They said it would be too negative and, it was too much negative stuff. But I took a picture of myself that night after I made it home to my children, because they thought I was dead when they heard that gunshot. They thought I was dead. And come to find out, this brother was stalking the neighborhood, hitting single mothers, And so many of the women were quiet because he said, if you don't tell what happened, I won't come back. He was only 21 years old. This is somebody's baby, somebody's child.
This was somebody else's baby. This is somebody else's child.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope you all looked at this show today and, got something out of reproductive justice, what is going on within our community, and you want to make a difference. If you do, make sure that you reach out to Mama Joya. Mama Joya, please give them your contact information. It could be your Gmail that they can contact you if they want to donate.
I got a public phone. I put the phone number out there all the time. It's 256-945-2749. I got a private phone too. Now, if you want to donate to Earthlight Health and Holistic Wellness, our website is www.earthlightholistic.org. If you'd like to email me, it's Joya Selassie SELASSIE@gmail.com. I am in Facebook jail. Every time I come out, they put me back in for nothing. So I don't know. I can't make no promises. But I'm on Instagram, Sun Lotus Holistic Services, and Greenhouse Foods, my catering business. So I am able to be reached. You can reach out. I want to build serious inquiries only because I can see right through the BS. So, come ready.
Thank you so much, Mama Joy.
Thank
And you
you. I
have a
love you,
great day.
Shayna.
I love you too, sis. I love you too. I love you too. I love you too. Thank you so much. And I'm going to end the show. Bear with me one moment. Oh my God. Oh my God. I told you guys I was very ecstatic about the show today. Today, our show was a little bit serious. Matter of fact, it was a lot serious. It was serious about a lot of different issues dealing with reproductive justice. If you watch this on a replay, watch it 2 times, 3 times. Share it with your friends. Share it with your girlfriends, the sister across the street, the one that you were speaking to, your mother, grandmothers. We need to build more sister circles where we as women, we come together and understand that anything that comes up against us as a society that harms us as being mother or being an effective mother or our children should be an issue. And the only way that we're going to understand what's really being harmful to us and harming us or get better is to reach out. So reaching out means connecting and bonding with sisters. We are the women and the mothers of today who are educating, uplifting, re-strengthening, and rebuilding and helping create a better world by effectively communicating and showing action to the mothers of tomorrow. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. This is Shayna Asby signing off with the Mother's Place with Mama Joya Santiago. But until next time, have a great day. Peace.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. I am super thrilled because today we have 2 of our episode sponsors that's right here in the virtual studio audience. I'm quite excited to have Dr. Jody Bear here, and she's America's top health coach. And then I also have Samantha Benson, who is the final expense life specialist nationwide. And I cannot wait for you all to grab your virtual seats and to get to learn more about our episode sponsors today. Anytime they take the opportunity to be able to support the Kim Jacobs Show and to be able to pour into this broadcast so that you all can get better balance in your lives, I am so honored to have this partnership with them. And now these aren't our only sponsors, so you'll get to hear from other sponsors throughout the year as well. But I want to take a moment right now just to acknowledge them and thank them for being in the studio audience today. Many of you also know I celebrated a birthday, so feel free to put some birthday shout outs if you want to as well. But we're going to go ahead and kick today's episode off, and we're going to get started with our first episode sponsor, which is Samantha Benson. Let's kick the show off. Hello, everyone. I'm very grateful that you took the time to tune in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Listen, we have a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real relevant and relatable content on today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. All right, everyone. Yes, it is the Kim Jacobs Show, and we are here with Samantha Benson. How are you, Samantha?
Good morning. I'm fantastic. How are you? And happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy that you are here with me today. And you know what? I really want people to hear about some of your backstory. A lot of times when people are sponsors for programs, they don't get a chance to know who is behind that particular advertisement, right? So I want people to know more about you as an individual, and then also we'll get to learn more about your services and what you do. So take us back and tell us a little bit about you and
some of the things you've encountered in life. You've been through a lot.
Oh, yes, thank you. And I'm going to keep it pretty brief because I
Okay.
really don't like talking about myself. I love just helping other people. But my background, my story is I experienced trauma at an early age with death in my life. Very quickly, when I was about 9 years old, my godfather was actually murdered in Brooklyn, New York. And that was my first experience with death. I didn't go to the funeral. I didn't want to. So my family, adhered to my wishes.
Right.
The next experience I had with death was at the age of 16 when my grandfather died. And then after that, it was in the early 90s, every 2 years. My father died just before I just turned 20. My older sister died when I turned 22. And my mother died 4 months after my 24th birthday. So very, very traumatic life for me, but actually that's a blessing for what we're going to be speaking of. But fast forward, I am a mother of 2 beautiful children, a 27-year-old son who lives in Alexandria, Virginia, and my 23-year-old daughter who is just fabulous, who has just come back to Charlotte to work and do her own thing here. And I am a business owner of Get Insured Solutions. And I am a solution. And you're going to hear about one specific solution that I have today on the Kim Jacobs Show.
Wow. Okay. I mean, first of all, those are some significant people in your life that have transitioned from this earth. And so that is extremely traumatizing. And you named Godfather, your sister, your mom, your dad. These are some of the most important people in our lives. So
Yes.
how did that shape you into who you are today, to have all of those loved ones transition from this earth?
Oh, well, for me, I just kind of put it under the rug like a lot of people do, Kim.
Yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind. You don't want to think about this subject that, death. And you just keep moving. And that's what I did for a very, very long time. Until things happened where it changed me going into the field that I'm in, which was actually really healing to me. And so that's why I'm very passionate about what I do with Get Insured Solutions. As a final expense insurance specialist that's nationwide.
Wow,
Because my background actually is financial management, but I worked in financial management sector. I've worked in the commercial insurance sector, but this is actually my calling. So I've transitioned out of those 2 sectors, being a specialist in final expense insurance, life insurance.
Okay. So that's very intentional that you went into that particular transition into final expense life insurance in particular. What is financial
I'm sorry, could you repeat that again?
I said, what is final expense life insurance, so people know what it actually is?
Final expense? What is it?
Yes.
Okay.
You can't hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yes. Well, final expense protects existing life insurance that you currently have. I've heard from people who say, well, I don't need, I'm insurance poor. You can never be insurance poor.
Right.
Most of the time, majority of the time, people are actually underinsured. But final expense protects the existing life insurance that you have, because it's life versus final. Okay, it's 2 different things. So the final expense life insurance protects the other insurances that you have, so that can transition onto your family the way life is meant to be, as a legacy. And so the final expenses takes care of the immediate expenses after a loved one may die, or you can utilize it while you are alive.
Interesting.
Mhm.
So I didn't some of the stuff I don't know myself, and I know I've worked with you, and you are very helpful to me. And everything that your company offers, they stand true to what they actually say they're going to do. They do it in situations, and so I really like that. I like to be able to endorse some group or company that I know stands behind what they're really saying they do, and so I can say that, and I'm proud of that. But when you're saying
integrity is very important to me, and what I do for individual families across the country, that's very important that you stand by what you say.
That's really good. So if people are interested in learning more about final expense life insurance, what steps would they need to take to be able to connect with you and to learn more about these particular services?
Yes. Well, final expense, Kim, as you know, is just the tip. With the final expense that I provide across the country, it's a permanent whole life that's attached, and it's customized to every individual and individual family. Along with what I do has a funeral advocacy piece. That funeral advocacy piece, we need to step in and we negotiate the cost of the funerals and the cremations down across the country, because we want to help reduce the stress and the financial burden that comes with death. And see, those were the things that happened to me during my 20s, 2022, 24, and actually 33, when my grandmother died. And so had I had known and had this for myself, I would have utilized it 30 years ago.
But at that time, you didn't know about these services yourself, so you were just going
No.
through the traditional way of life insurance policies, assign them, see what can be applied, what's left is what the family works from, right? Is that typically how it works?
That is absolutely, you're spot on with that, because people want, when they get life insurance, Kim, they think about, okay, I'm going to have some inheritance to leave to my daughter, my son, to a nonprofit, whatever organization it may be. But then as the person gets older in age, then they change and they shift and they tell their daughter, son, niece, nephew, or whomever, well, I got a $25,000 life insurance policy, or I have a $50,000 term policy, whatever it may be, and you're going to be able to use that for when I die. So now their brain has shifted, and that's not the case. But the funeral advocacy piece, we go in, my team of experts, we negotiate with more than one funeral home, we bring that cost down. The funeral merchandise comes from our program at wholesale cost, which also helps the family. And then those final expense from the insurance whole life policy is going to be utilized to be dispersed to that. And then they'll have ready cash flow immediately, oftentimes within 24 hours after all necessary paperwork has been completed.
Within 24 hours, what
happens?
happens? Say that with that, clarify that.
Oh, within 24 hours, that means that the extra monies that are maybe left from that life insurance policy is going to be dispersed back to the primary beneficiary.
Okay.
So we're going to ask you, and do you want that at certified check by FedEx, or do you want that in standard mail?
Excellent.
But it just takes the pressure off of the family member having that funeral advocacy that's attached to our final expense, and it's a permanent whole life. And because I'm an insurance specialist, Kim, I'm able to qualify from no health conditions to stage 4 cancer, Alzheimer's, dementia, sickle cell, HIV/AIDS, and incarceration.
That's interesting.
Don't find.
Let me interject for one quick second there, because what I want everyone that's watching to know from our episode sponsor, Samantha Benson with GetInsured.Solutions, is that she's able to, and she's certified to do this, to help you get that coverage for your family members, your loved ones, without necessarily having to have a major health and wellness kind of check. Is that correct? Am I saying that?
Yes, that's absolutely correct. For
That's
instance,
huge.
for instance, a lot of insurance companies will deny someone who is type 1 diabetes. They cannot get insurance at all except through me as a specialist. Oftentimes, a type 2 person with diabetes also are denied by other insurance companies. But because I specialize from as far as Alaska to Puerto Rico, and I'm licensed across the country, I'm able to assist anyone. And, you know, you don't wake up, Kim, and say, I want to have a stroke. You don't wake up and say, oh, you know, author, come get me, you know, arthritis.
Right, right.
And so, yeah, and this is permanent whole life. So that means I have accidental death that's attached to it. It doesn't stop at a certain age. You know, it continues on because people are living a lot longer, into their hundreds.
Yes.
So it's very, very beneficial to individual families to have even a supplemental to the existing life insurance that they have, because now I'm protecting whether it's a $10,000 policy or a $10 million policy.
That's really good. So it's not like, so there's no policy that's too small and no policy that's too large in this particular scenario. Is there just like an average type of policy amount that you recommend people get their family members insured for?
Well, you know, Kim, it's based on a couple of different things when I'm qualifying a person. And remember, everything is customized. So no pun to Geico, but I don't do quotes. I have concierge service to everyone.
I have Geico, by the way, so I like Geico too. So definitely no puns.
And I had Geico for a very long time. So no puns. I don't need a lawsuit with Geico, but I don't do general quotes. I customize concierge service to every individual needs. And so this particular final expense, I can qualify an individual from $1,000 up to $30,000. So when I'm gathering their specific information, it's going to tell me where they qualify, and then I'm going to customize it to meet them where they're at.
Okay.
And so it doesn't matter if a person is on disability or is on a fixed income or Social Security.
Good. That's some really good information. And if you all in the studio audience, if you have questions or comments and you want to know about final expense life insurance, definitely type them in the comment section. And let's give Samantha a chance to answer any questions that you may have personally. And what I want to do too today, just so you know, I'm talking right now with one of our episode sponsors. We have another one that's joining us as well, Dr. Jody Baer, and she'll be joining us shortly. And today's episode is sponsored by GetInsured.Solutions. And this is the owner of GetInsured.Solutions, which is Samantha Benson. That's who's here talking with us today. So if you have questions, please type them in the comment section. And even if you're watching the replay, she'll go back and look at those questions and hopefully be able to answer them for you. The phone number that they can stay connected with you, Samantha, is where?
It is 704-499-3616.
704-499-3616 is the phone number. I am going to just play your commercial and then come back and talk some more with you. See if you have any other comments that you want to share or advice, words of wisdom, because I think people are nervous. I would like to kind of talk about this for a brief moment when we come back. People are nervous when it comes to dealing with life insurance and final life expense insurance because it's just like taboo. You don't want to talk about it. You have to sometimes talk to the person directly. And then that's like how dare you bring up something about my death? It's like, what? This should be normal to have these conversations, but it's not. It's really offensive to people. So when we come back, I want to talk about that for a minute. Can you address that?
I sure will.
All right. All right. Listen, we're going to go to Samantha Benson's commercial. And Mackenzie, I know you're helping me. I'll go ahead and play this one because I didn't tell you about it in advance. So let me go right to getinsured.solutions.
Nothing says I love you more than final expense insurance whole life protection with funeral advocacy nationwide, saving you and your family 30 to 80% off funerals and cremations. Nothing says I love you more than Get Insured Solutions, LLC. GetInsured.Solutions, 704-499-3616.
Now, why is it such taboo for people to have these discussions, Samantha Benson? Please educate us.
Yes, ma'am. Well, life insurance in general, Kim, when people think of life insurance, they think of death because that is the way the funeral industry has conditioned people to think. So, you know, whether when they have a job, they have life insurance on the job sometimes if the company offers it, but also people don't own that life insurance. Yes, they're paying on the premiums, but they're not the physical property owners of those life insurance policies. But again, that's the way that funeral homes owners and directors across the country,